era niggas just scream out gang gang. My era niggas outside that gang bang. Old enough to know niggas that made it onto gangland. I don't say that to grandstand, I'm just spitting the facts, man. New rappers too busy just making sing-alongs. My raps will have it going savage like the Viacom. You don't want the smoke, homie, then your weed is strong. Good to see you smoke along to that Cheech and Chong. Me and my team, we on the front line. Steady putting in work, homie, it's always crunch time. Hard times produce me, dog. This ain't a movie, it ain't WWE when I mention the bloodline. Homie, I want mine, that's why I move different. Y'all too laxy daisy, I keep myself disciplined. Repetition on repetition, training is rigorous. Only way to survive the streets is dangerous and vigorous. Behavior villainous, leave no traces of witnesses. Moment of silence for the taking of all our innocence. Now back to business, somewhat of a practitioner, cause there's no shortcuts in life, no pills that make you limitless. That's ridiculous, far set from reality, like who's that's licorice. Frame of thought is insanity, causing calamity if you actually watching and listening. Home team catching L's from the dudes that started visiting. How you missing it? Losing profits and dividends. The way your boys been cooking, they need to give me a Michelin. The bliss is ignorance, say they don't like to mention them. They say we don't mention the bodies that's in Lake Michigan. Fucking hypocrites, I separate from the fakes. Run with a pride of lines, identify all the stakes. Hubris as they folly, I'm catching other mistakes. Matter of time before they're just another body that's in the lake. Navigate, these troubled waters won't choose my fate. My vision is too ambition like Alexander the Great. Say there's much on my plate, but I carry my weight. Figuratively and literally, for all those who can relate. I never break, you never get me to fold. You never get me to leave, Chicago is still my home. But I carry my heat, this windy city is cold. Valentine's Day massacre, but was it really Capone? Face blown out of proportion, the different views of contortion. Use best proceed with precaution before you lie dead in a coffin. It's not a threat, that's a promise. Best quit talking your nonsense, your body could end up missing. Got your family claiming we lost them. Can't find them, bad time and he's flatlining. Good riddance, been a negative to mankind. And I'm like Jack Reacher, the equalizer, John Wick, Jason Bourne of the accountant. Either one, you can take your pick. The damage I could do with my side weapon. John Wick with my P40 Smith & Wesson. Opposition lightweight, so I'm not threatened. I'm just glad about the hate that they keep sending. It's really easy talk that rah-rah on the internet. There's words to Zaza, I heard y'all ain't got your fingers wet. Don't get your cherry pop by the very op. We bust the real ones, got the heavy guap, you just carry prop. Bunch of these gangsters claim to be hard to the core, but they really not like women that claim to be faithful. But they really thought, act like they down, but when shit goes down, they call the city cops. Same fools think they know a lot, no dilly squad. Tired of all of this fake shit, with fake asses and fake tits. They fake smiles, make fake lips. Picasso looking with their faceless. What I call the good replacement, with the so-called real are the fakest. So the fakest niggas are the greatest. What was common sense no longer makes sense. What was common sense is now rare sense. What was funny then is now flagrant. Living in your thoughts, I don't pay rent. I take my time, you lack patience. Then your blood drip on the pavement. With a headshot, got you brainless. After getting hit with that stainless, kill instinct, call me craven.
We going up, shit going down. We lighting them up, you best hit the ground. Shooting them up, one after round. When that blood in the air, you better not dare to come around town. Father, please forgive me, have mercy on my soul. Fools keep trying to test me and I will never fold. It's the way that Wendy raised me, the city of the gold. Load them up and let them go, load them up and let them go, load them up and let them fly.
You know what it is. This is the Chop Shop. It's your boy Il Divino Vega. You know, we've been having these like breathers in between each chopping block session, right? So there's always plenty to talk about, and honestly, your boy's been busy, so it kind of gives me time to do my things, but enough time to just gather some conversations and then kind of just go forward from there. And here we are today, Friday night. You know, I hope you guys are having fun. I hope you guys are being safe, and I hope you guys are tuning in. Today, though, luckily, I don't have to start this one on my own. I am being accompanied by none other. He's been on here before. El Meme, Emmanuel Vega. What's going on, brother? He's little bro right here.
Michael Il Divino, what's up, brother? Hey, I cannot hear you, bro. I'm not sure if it's your mic because I could hear the music. I
Mike,
just don't hear you,
1 2
brother.
1 2. It
I'm
could be
not
the, it
hearing
could be the
you at
music. Hold
all.
on, let me. It could be the music. Give me a second.
Welcome, though, y'all, to the Chop Shop.
How do you hear me now?
I hope you out there, Mike. I still can't hear you, brother. I
You
do see
still
you,
can't hear me. Okay, can anybody else
but
hear
I
me? Let
do
me know in
not
the
hear you.
comment section.
Can you show me a thumbs up that you could hear me, by the way?
I hear you.
There you go. Okay, so you can hear me. I just
I can hear
cannot hear
you.
you, brother.
Now that's crazy. Because on my end, the mic is showing that it's picking me up. So I kind of need y'all in the comment section. Let me know.
Interesting.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Okay, hold on. Let me see. It could be my mic.
Yeah,
Okay, we might
I'm
actually
not
have
getting
another
it, brother.
guest hopping on too, low key. Give me a moment here. Can y'all hear me? Y'all gotta let me know in the comment section if you
Oh
can hear
man,
me.
there you go. I'm hearing you, brother. I hear you now.
You hearing me now? That had to be on your end, man. Because like I
Oh,
said, on
never
my end,
mind. Oh man, it just cut off. It's like all I see is you moving your mouth and
hold on.
just
2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let me know in the comment sections if y'all can hear me, man. Because on mine it looks good. Okay, so okay. All right, Prime in the comment section. Let me know we good. All right, we good. So hey, man, I don't know on your end what's going on, but apparently I am being heard. So and now I can't even hear you. So I don't know what that's about. But anyways, let's see. Let me copy that. Boom. Prime, I just sent you something. Whoa, hold on. Make sure you give that go check that out. Hey, Meme, I don't know if you muted your mic on purpose or not, but on mine, I do not hear you. Okay.
there you go. I
right.
can hear you.
Okay.
That's strange.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. For sure, hiccup. It's crazy when we run into these like technical difficulties early on into the session. It's,
For
it's
real.
like, come on, man. Can't catch a break around here.
Yeah. Maybe your show had a problem with me using my logo.
Right, it probably was that, right? Jesus. They said, no, bring the pods back. Bring the pods back. We need to see the pods. Anyways, bro, how you doing though, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, brother. I'm feeling amazing, man. Just here at home, relax. I'm actually outside taking out the dog.
You were
This
telling me right before we got live that you had watched that movie Obsessions, man.
brother.
And I keep hearing a lot about it, a lot of good things about it. And low key, like it's undeniable that it's actually doing really well right now, even in the theaters, in the box office. I want to say last I checked, let's see. Yeah, it's actually clearing about 403 million worldwide in the box office.
And to put it into perspective as well, this is a movie that came out in 2025. So it's a movie that's still in theaters as well. Man, it's amazing. I don't even know how to start it off because usually I'm
Are you
more.
sure it came out in 2025?
I could have sworn that's what I saw in the online. I could have probably just misread something, but
I think so because I feel like it opened mid-May 2026. I could be
really,
wrong,
okay, yeah.
but I feel like
No,
that
no,
was
no.
the
I
day
mean,
it dropped.
Well, I should tell you, brother, that is such a good movie. It's such a good movie, man. And I like I said, I don't even know how to start it off, just because one, for like when it comes to like, I guess, horror scary movies, when that type of genre, I'm always one to like kind of like judge it hard, because like I do find like some movies corny, or cringe.
Mhm.
Um,
I know what you mean.
Poof, this this one this one was amazing. And now to put it to more perspective, I guess too, is that as I was watching this, I did watch it. I was watching it in the theaters. Man, I was shaking, man. I could not stop shaking my leg. I was desperate. I was anxious. But that's like what I feel like a good movie, or I guess a good horror movie should be like. Like keeps you, on your toes. Like, oh man, what the heck,
Right.
The main characters did a great job at acting, as far as portrayment of, what they were trying to portray, or who they were trying to portray. Man, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. It, I mean, and even on Rotten Tomatoes, the last time I saw it, it had a 94%. That was the last time I saw. I don't know if it went higher or lower, but last time I did check, it was 94. That was when I went to watch it, at
Was
least.
that the critic score or the audience score?
I believe that should be critic. Yeah, I believe Rotten Tomatoes is critic.
Well, they have both
So,
scores. That's why I'm asking.
oh, do they? Yeah, well, they showed both. I only saw the. I did see the only. I just don't remember the other score, to be honest. But I
Gotcha.
did. Yeah, I saw that Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 94%. Man, um, such a good movie, man. Like I said, 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10, whichever scoring table we want to use. It is. It's almost. It's almost an emotional ride. I should say. Uh, it has its own like subliminal messages, like in such a way where like you you end up like dissecting this movie, like probably like more than you have, like, or like it's a good movie, man. It's a good
I had
movie.
one. You look pretty sad because I had one of my buddies. Matter of fact, I'm gonna probably have him on here pretty soon. I was actually on his podcast not too
Awesome,
long
awesome.
ago. To the end of the line podcast, but he was telling me that he went to go see it with his wife, and I guess like the Latina trope of like I guess there are some uh connections between like the Latina trope, you know what I'm saying, of I guess to what you see in the movie, and that he was telling his wife like like kind of like nudging her like that's you type thing. You know what I'm saying? Obviously in joking, but
Right, right.
kind of like one of those directs,
Well, okay,
I
to
mean,
even
I
speak
don't know,
upon that.
is that being true
No,
or
dude, to speak upon that. Now, this, like the portrayment that they put for the, like I said, the the the, the person who's, man, I could tell you this. I was shaking and anxious and nervous, because it was almost like I was like reliving moments of my like past, where I was just like, oh my gosh, it really is like that, and like
yeah,
it almost, so it did put me in a state where I was, because man, like a lot of men don't speak upon it, but man, mental awareness, it is a thing,
right,
and
right.
men don't like to talk about it, so just, and I mean females too, what I'm saying, I'm, nothing about being sexist, but it, if you
No, no,
watch
but
this
I know what
movie,
you mean. Like we're more protective around our vulnerabilities.
our emotion, or right, with that, so with that, this got me to realize, like, whoa, like again, it reminded me of something that I really suffered for a long time, and I, that, like, it was almost like traumatizing. So like, yeah, I'm over here in this movie theater, and I'm shaking my leg where my girl is like, "Hey man, you want to go?" She was like feeling for me. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like, "I don't want to see you like this. Like this is like," and she knows my past. So she's like, "Hey, I don't want you to relive that. Let's get out of here." But I guess more also my pride came in too, where I was just like I paid for the movie, so no, I gotta stick it
Right,
through.
right. The money was spent.
But it was well spent, bro. It was well spent. I don't regret it. I love the movie, man. I love the movie so much. I had to recommend it to friends where we actually had like a watch party and we watched it all together. We all rated it equally as high, bro. We were all amazed by that movie for sure. The acting, the
Okay.
I mean, the story, the sound effects, if you want. You know what I'm saying? If you want to add that, all everything, man. It was. I really do rate it high scores, man. It was such a good movie,
Okay. Okay.
and it's and it
It was honestly I was gonna try and see it today, but when I say today, apparently the only like movie time in the area that I was in in the moment of me deciding whether or not I was gonna go to a movie, like the movie time was like around this time. So I was like, I plan on going live. I can't go watch it,
right, right,
Um,
right. Well,
but
hey,
I
man.
wanted to, yeah, like I hear nothing but like good crazy things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, brother. I mean,
He
to
said,
to, to put
What were you guys watching? Farm animal porn?" I'm
it.
not. I don't know if
Edwin
that's what I
Martin.
don't know if they have that in the movie, man. Again, I haven't watched the movie, so I don't know.
No, definitely far. And that might be on the playlist of his if
I
that's
don't
the
know.
thing
Hey,
you brought
wait a
up.
minute. I don't know what movie you watched on your Fire Stick. It wasn't
Yeah,
Obsession.
that was definitely not it. Wrong obsession, my friend. Wrong
Hey, but
one,
what's
man.
up, brother?
Matter
Appreciate
of
you
fact,
hopping on the chat, man.
ma- matter of fact, clear that cache, my boy. Clear that history, brother.
Clear the cache. Yeah, clear
I'm saying
that
like
history,
that
brother. Clear it
whatever
down.
movie you watch is definitely virus affected, dog.
Bleach
Oh
wipe that
man,
computer, bro. Keep bleach with this.
for real, for real. Ah man, wowzers. Nah, but it was a good movie, man. Honestly, I have this Discord server that we be having watch parties every from time to time. If you ever want to hop on, just let me know. We get something going, bro. It's a good movie, man. It's a good movie. Um, I've actually watched it now probably like 3 times, but and that speaks to you because you know how I am with movies. I don't
Right,
go that crazy with movies.
right,
Um,
right,
so like I'm now on my third time watching it, like, and I will still watch it again because it's good, man. It's good, and I like dissecting the movie. And again, I'm really one to steer away from horror movies because they're very cringe to me. Like I still watch it. I'll give it like credit, I guess, if it's needed or where it's due. But
hmm
I'm just not a horror film type of guy. Like I know that Evil Dead just came out, Evil Dead Burn. I hear people saying that that's a good one compared to like the first
right.
ones. Um, I've watched the second one. I saw the first one too, like clips of it, and
Uh,
just as I say, corny, cringe to me. But like I still watched it just to kind of again, just to see, what it has. But to me,
right,
like it's rare to find. It really is rare to get a good horror film out there because obviously, like how much can you get scared from? But like I think you
right.
really have to dive deep into those like notes of that because I think like for me, I was actually speaking with Sam, or
hmm
Cuzzo. We were talking about it. Like we thought, like you know, I was actually telling him Sinister when we were younger. That was like a pretty good movie at that time. So like in comparison, I can't even say it's the same because again, it
Sinister.
is
Holy cow, that's funny. I remember that one. Yeah.
yeah, and it's kind of hard to to compare because they are different in its ways, but when it comes to the whole like possession and all that, it's like they tackle that at a good angle, compared to like in my opinion,
Mhm.
Evil Dead had like more of a cringe possession, like I don't know, it's just maybe somebody might on your comments might just
Disagree.
curse me out, disagree, right? Like guy don't know what he's saying,
You gotta watch out for the fans, man. You gotta watch out for the fans.
you know. But
But
hey,
anyways,
correct me if
I
correct
hear you
me.
on that, though.
Put the give me some recommendations for all you horror films watchers out there. Give the recommendations. I'm like as I say, I'm always, I'm trying to. But Obsession
Well,
is great, bro.
maybe my maybe my buddy here, Prime the Godfather, might hook you up with some recommendations. What's good, brother? How you
Let's
doing, Prime?
go. What's up, Prime?
Good with it.
What's good, man? We talking
Good.
about the movie
Okay,
Obsession. I
okay.
haven't really watched it, to be honest, but apparently, like everybody I know has watched it. They're raving it up. I'm hearing nothing but good things. I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's like there's a few movies I feel like there's like a culture wave, or like when I say culture, it's like a pop culture wave, where people are just hyping it up more than they have to, but some actually like hit on point, you know what I mean? But this one, I feel like I'm hearing more of the same than others, right? Like there's others like six. Okay, for instance, like Thinners, right? Though I had a lot of people tell me it was good, there were a few people that at least were like, I think it's like overhyped, like it was okay, like But with this movie, I have yet to find somebody that's kind of like felt opposite of what the rave is about it. So that's why I'm like, man, something about the movie must be right. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, what they put into it to what it's making in the box office. Have you seen it yet?
What movie are we talking about?
Obsession?
Oh, I didn't see it. I haven't seen the film.
Brother, you
haven't
got
seen
to
it
watch
either?
it.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good movie. I'll always recommend it. I watched it 3 times. All 3 times, I enjoyed it. I was able to dissect it to like to the to the best of my ability, and I'm sure there's still things that I miss here and there, but like it definitely, with this movie being so great, it can probably make another run, but like obviously they'd have to be very very careful, obviously not ruining it, but they could definitely do another run if they do good, or if they plan it well.
Well, I mean,
Isn't
I'm
the
gonna check it
director
out.
of that movie already like signed? Oh, sorry. Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry,
Prime.
Mike.
Go ahead.
No, what I was saying is I'm gonna see the movie once it get to streaming. I'm gonna check it out. I just didn't see it. I did my already my last movie that I'm watching for the year. Well, pretty much, because I'm not, I already bought all the movies that I'm buying for the year already. So the last one I'm probably going to see is either going to be between
gotcha.
Odyssey and Spider-Man. So I already did that. I spent my money on Supergirl.
Ooh, Spider-Man is definitely my next watch too, bro.
I didn't do Obsession and whatever, so I had to pick and choose on which one that I was going to pick. So I mean, I did. Of course, I was going to pick Supergirl, but
Of course.
I was going to pick Supergirl. But like I said, all my movies that I picked, I've already watched them and paid for. So I got one more left. I don't know. I might scratch it in and do 2 more. I might do Spider-Man.
I feel like you have to, man, because I'm like, damn, wait, that means you're not gonna watch Dune. That means you're not gonna watch Doomsday, or I don't know, maybe Doomsday is in the.
You know what? I forgot about
catalog for you.
I might. That's later in the year, so I will go see Doomsday. I'm not too fond of Doom. Okay. I really don't care for Doom like that.
Okay.
Let's see. There's another one. Yeah, Street Fighter. I'm not going to see that. I'm not really keen on seeing that. And what else? There's another film that's coming out this year. Damn, no, I got 2 movies I got to see. Shit.
Yeah.
No, 3. I'm going to see Odyssey,
me.
no, definitely. And I forgot about
Odyssey,
Spider-Man.
Odyssey. I'm definitely seeing that
Oh,
tomorrow. I'll be honest.
Odyssey.
I'm seeing
Yes.
that tomorrow. I mean, honestly, we can talk about that a bit, but yeah, no, the Odyssey. That to me right there. And, you know, actually, I'll put it up. That could be we can go ahead and get into that because obviously there's like a lot of with a movie of such proportion of I don't know, epicness and just the lore behind it, the kind of like the in real time storyline behind it, right? The whole IMAX 70 millimeter experience behind it. Nolan's take on I guess what the Odyssey was to him, right? It's obviously going to come with some good and some bad, apparently, but I feel like there's been more good than bad. But go ahead, Prime.
What I was gonna say is that people they overreacting on it, and I get it. But if people actually listen to Nolan and what he said is that he made the film, he not caring about what people saying. He did it on purpose for modern audiences. So he really wasn't caring about what it was. And then on top of it, from because my cousin went to go see, he was like, the things that people are bitching about, these individuals only in the movie no more than 2 minutes. The stuff they complain about, they're not even in the movie no more than 2 minutes. So I'm like, there's nothing. They show a picture of it, they just show a clip of it, and then everybody tripping out. They gotta watch the film for themselves. He said the film is fantastic. He said the film is off the hook. It's not. It's not. If you're a Nolan person, I'm a Nolan dude. So 100%. When me being a Nolan dude, already know what I'm getting myself into. If you're the person that got an attention span problem, you can't watch no Nolan film. That ain't happening. So, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna go see Odyssey. It got my money, so I'm not worried about that. But
yeah, oh no, 100%. I already got my tickets for tomorrow, and honestly, they're gonna probably have me buy more tickets because the reality is that 70 millimeter seating sold out almost like
IMAX.
Yeah, in IMAX. Yeah, that thing sold out like not just for the weekend, but like for weeks.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
That's how much people want to watch it in that format. And I'm talking about like, I thought to myself, okay, I snoozed. People bought it for the weekend. Let me check Monday. Every seating sold out. All right, let me check Tuesday. Every seating sold out. Let me check every day, every seating sold out all the way to the next weekend. That's the craziness. How much people are invested in seeing this movie in 70 millimeter IMAX, bro.
It's a Nolan film. I mean, you already know what you're getting or whatever like that. I mean, you're gonna spend the money to watch his film. And after I saw it, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna have to go, and I gotta go all the way across town here. You're gonna see an IMAX film. I gotta go all the way across town just to see it. So I don't have a problem. Shit, the IMAX, I don't care. I'll pay for it. That's why I said I'll pay for it.
I mean, here's the reality.
There's just certain movies you're gonna pay IMAX money for to see.
100%.
It's just certain films you just gonna do it.
yeah, exactly. There's certain films I could be like, I could watch it in standard. This one, nah, gotta be IMAX. But I'll be look, if I had no choice, let's just say like every IMAX theater I went to go look for a ticket, everything was sold out, and all I had was to watch it in standard for the weekend, I would have done it for the weekend.
How many IMAX theaters y'all got? Because you in Chicago. How many IMAX theaters y'all got?
We have a few. The problem is we only have 2, and no, we have 0 in 70 millimeter. You either have to go all the way south of Illinois to Southport to watch it in that kind of 70 millimeter IMAX, or you got to go all the way west into the suburbs, which I believe was Woodridge or something like that, or Willowbrook or Wheaton, or one of those like just suburbs to watch it in 70 millimeter IMAX. Those are the only 2 theaters in the area, in the vicinity close to Chicago, or enough. Although I'll tell you this much, Southport might not. I probably wouldn't make that drive. I'll make the drive out west.
West side.
Yeah. But that being said, in Chicago, yeah, no, there's plenty of IMAX theaters. It's just that the 70 millimeter one. It's not. You're not going to find that in Chicago.
Okay,
You got
yeah.
IMAX with laser or IMAX, like 45 millimeter, something like that. But you don't have the 70 millimeter. That's what it is. So I'm going to see it in IMAX, just not in the 70 millimeter. And again, like I said, it's even though I'm going to watch it this weekend tomorrow. Best believe I'm still gonna get that ticket for that. So I have to. I just have to. You're talking about a movie that he shot intentionally from beginning to end in IMAX 70 millimeter. You know what I mean? Like that's the way it's technically intended to be watched. Although, yes, obviously he shot it in every other kind of format, but that's his, passion. Yo, Edwin, peace out, brother. Have a good night, man.
Actually, IMAX is the best way to watch a film. It just costs money. It's a lot more expensive to watch it in IMAX, but it depends on which experience. The top-notch IMAX we got here, we only got one. That's like the one I'm talking about. That's way across town. So if you don't get no ticket, you better book that mug before they sold out because it ain't happening. And I already know where it's at. It's a Cinemark, top of the line Cinemark theater, and it's an IMAX in there. That bitch cold.
Bro, that's the one I have to go to. That's the one the 70 millimeter one that we have. It's a Cinemark theater as well. Seven Bridges, it's called. And it's the only one close enough to Chicago, but you're still a distance, probably like an hour and a half away at best, maybe less if you do your thing. Yeah. but yeah, it's worth the watch. Like again, there's certain movies throughout time that just require that. You know what I mean? And this is it. This is if there's any one, this is it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there's plenty, but like I said, I mean, the guy shot it in this format on purpose. Like the popcorn buckets are this very camera on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a part of cinematic history that you have to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, but again, not to discourage anyone from buying just standard seating if that's all you find. I mean, go watch the movie. I guarantee you this movie's going to be out in the theaters for weeks. So there's plenty of time to go watch it in IMAX if you can't find the ticket right now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Nolan films. Nolan makes sure that Nolan makes sure that he books up everything for a while. So he makes sure that he books up a lot of stuff. If y'all don't know how Christopher Nolan works, that's just how he works. So you might as well just get ready for it, man. Yeah, you
long ride. Even the press run. I'm like, the press run for the movie was like timed perfectly. Like they made sure they were in your timeline, in your algorithm, like at least 2 to 3 weeks in advance. But like even how it came out was like incrementally, like 3 weeks in advance, there was like a couple things. Then 2 weeks, we're going to give you a little bit more. And then 1 week away, we're flooding your algorithm, the timeline, almost every podcast, type of show on YouTube and, movie reviews and things like that just starts flooding YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And you're just seeing them everywhere. The press runs of them on Fallon and this and that. And it's like, there's no way you don't know this movie's out. And if you don't know, you're just living under a rock because it's like, I don't know how you don't know. But I will say I agree with you in the sense, I mean, at least with your cousin, you said your cousin, right? Who saw it already?
Yeah, my cousin saw it already. Yeah.
Your cousin saw it already? I would say, I haven't seen the movie, but I'll say this to that. Anyone who's like stuck on interpretation, or not even interpretation, but like accuracy, like what movie or series has ever been 100% accurate, especially when it comes to these mythologies?
Well, you also got to understand there are some movies that have been accurate, but you got to understand too that to make money, these studios are doing the agenda for just to get a certain audience. And like I said, from what I'm seeing, everybody is tripping about who's playing who or whatever like that. And that's fine. That's fine. You know what I mean? It depends on the character. Like me, like the Greek mythology and all that. I mean, I like it, but I'm not like deep into it to the point where it's like, okay, this person got to be this like that. I'm not deep into it like that. So I get what Christopher Nolan is, what he actually did. Like, look,
well, here's the thing, Prime. I love Greek mythology. Like, I'm into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've dived deep into it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I grew up on, you know, Hercules. You know, there was something about that. You know, hell, even like Xena the Amazon Warrior. You know, Clash of the Titans, and you know, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And then when that movie Troy came out, right, the way back in the day, like
Troy was hot. Yeah, Troy was
fire. You know what I'm saying? So, but here's the thing: as fire as Troy was, it's not accurate. You know, like even the best movie to ever exist, you know, in Greek mythology, it's not accurate. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and nobody's dogging that movie. You wouldn't dare. That movie's that good. So well, you know, like,
yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying, but me, hey, like I said, everybody,
when a movie's really. No, don't get me wrong. There might be some people that back in the day, maybe because I was a kid, I didn't know that there were people complaining about it. But and then obviously social media, I don't even think existed the way it does now, right? That's the other era we're dealing with, right? We're dealing with, you know, the access to communication, you know, spanned across like the world, right? Like, you know, in a matter of like seconds, right? Like I can voice my opinion and someone across the world might actually see it. Like even right now, the people watching us actually might, you know, be across the world and not watching. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the era we live in. So different times too, right? But again, even now, I still have yet someone to just complain about that movie is my whole point. You know what I'm saying? And again, we have now the tools to communicate and share feelings about things, you know? And again, I have yet to find somebody that says that movie sucked, that it was horrible because it wasn't accurate or blah, blah, blah. And again, when I tell you it's not accurate at all, as a matter of fact, bro, honestly, maybe 15% of that movie, maybe 20 if I'm being generous, is actually like depicting something accurate. The rest of it was left to the interpretation of the director. And he really just changed a lot of things up. You know, and it could be because of time. It could be because of, you know, I don't know, like maybe again his perspective of trying to make it to what he believed reality was compared to what the Iliad of Homer, how much more maybe fantasy like it was. You know, considering that it has actually a lot more to do with the gods than it does actually mankind. Or, you know, the gods play a major part in that whole story plot compared to, you know, man, where when you watch the movie Troy, you wouldn't even know the gods were a thing. You would just think they're symbols that people worship, not knowing that in the Iliad, they're actually a focal point, like the focal point to the entire story plot. And same thing with the Odyssey. The gods are very much the influence to what Trojan War happened. And everything that's happening, even with Odysseus in the Odyssey. So again, when I say that movie Troy was for sure far from accurate, but it's beloved. I don't know nobody that hates that movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, when I see that, it's like, all right, well, I think we can spare some grace here if there's some inaccuracies, but it's an interpretation of a director that has his own vision. And like you said, it's for sure he's trying to bring it to the modern audience who I think maybe he feels maybe might not know the story of the Odyssey. Now, granted, like, I get the concern, right? I get the concern. I mean, obviously, you know, us as, you know, fans of comics, right? And certain storylines, you know, I guess we can understand why, again, accuracy, you know, kind of we might feel a certain type of way, right? Like you want to see this, you want to see that from whatever you know, storyline you've held close to your heart or whatever. But at the same time, it's like if the story's good though, and if it translates, and if it causes enough curiosity, which I think is what his goal is, to have people actually go look up, man, well, what is the Odyssey? You know, so like what is the actual Odyssey? Where can I read that? You know, or the Iliad, where can I read that? You know, I think that still does something, you know, and I think that's what he's going for here, and I think it's going to accomplish that. I mean, the trailer alone gives me goosebumps, you know. The trailer alone gives me goosebumps. I really can't wait to see this film. Like, this is for sure by far my most anticipated film of the year. Again, yes, I'm anticipating Spider-Man. You know, for that, I'm excited for, you know, Avengers Doomsday, and me, I am excited for Dune. But I do like the Dune, you know, IP or you know, universe, I guess you could say. But with, even though I like all these other films, The Odyssey for sure is like my holy grail of movies that I was like anticipating to watch this year, you know.
Top
So,
one.
yeah, it's the one. It's the one. Like everything else just comes second. I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? Like, my bad, Dennis Villeneuve, whatever your name is. My bad to the Russo brothers. My bad to whoever's directing Spider-Man. You know, y'all did y'all thing, I'm sure, and I'm sure I'm gonna like it. But I'm sorry, y'all come in second to Nolan's Odyssey. That's just the way it goes. I'm sorry.
I would say, let me see. What movies did you watch this year?
So far, are we gonna just theater movies?
Just theater. Which one did you go to the theater this year for?
I seen Masters of the Universe.
Okay.
I saw Mortal Kombat 2.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Mandalorian and Grogu. I saw Send Help, which that's a crazy movie. If nobody's seen that one, yeah, I should catch that one. That's actually a really good movie. I feel like there's some other ones in there. I saw Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
I saw, man, what other movies have I watched? That might be it, but I feel like there's one or two that I'm forgetting. But those are the 5 that I can remember I actually have seen already.
What about
in theater?
Which one at the top? Which movie you saw this year at the theater, dog?
Are you on mute? He's on a mute. Mimic, are you able to talk or no?
Yeah, I'm having technical difficulties. Sorry. No, I just figured it out now. It's just because it was connecting like from a car to my headphone. It was messed up. Can you hear me though? Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Were you able to hear our conversation or no?
Not really. It was choppy. That's because it was going into my headphone and then it kept going to my car. Yeah.
Just put it on speakerphone. You'll cut it straight off. You ain't got to worry about disconnect the Bluetooth entirely.
But I mean, I was able to hear a little bit. I guess like the last things that I was hearing was really, before it started tweaking on me, was you're talking about Troy and Odyssey, and like I guess the respect that we should have for them. At least from the era. I agree too. Also from an era, I think people didn't have, or like it was more open and like freedom for like people to actually enjoy an interpretation of something else compared to like now it's on demand of what people want. But I mean, doesn't take away though, like like as Prime said, sometimes they target an audience that is still gonna be benefit in the long run. And like that's how I feel like about like the Avatar movies, but I don't want to like stray away from what we're talking about, like especially with Odyssey and all, because I'm actually very excited. I watched the first Odyssey when I was like in high school. It was like one of those things that it was like a requirement for us to watch. And I mean I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool still. I'm just like I am into like that type of stuff. Like just Greek mythology. Or just different type of all different types of mythology, really. Norse, I'm saying, Greek, whatever it is. But I'm really excited for Christopher Nolan's, because I love his movies as well. So and even the actors that they got are like, in my opinion, they got like really really great actors as well for this. I'm actually excited to see Zendaya.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right. No, I said that their cast is stacked for this movie.
Oh yeah. So I'm really excited. You know.
Is I think Flash is or Flash. I just called you Flash. Oh God. Well, Brian's last question to you, before, I guess that you couldn't hear was was what movies have you seen so far in theater? Was that the
So
question last time?
I'm gonna say my last 3 movies. So my last 3 movies have been scary movies. Now, because my girl likes horror films.
That's particular. All women, they like horror films.
Yeah.
You know, so I you know, in theaters that's what I was forced to watch. Although my wants, like what I want to watch at the moment, I do want to watch Masters of the Universe, and I also want to watch Spider-Man. You know, those are on my list right now.
Right.
But as far as what I've watched in theaters, have been like, you know, the first one was Weapons. That one, I'm as I was talking to you.
I haven't watched that one yet either, but I heard
I'm talking about this year. I ain't talking about last year. I'm talking about this year.
Oh, okay.
Now, Weapons.
This year,
You're right.
no. This year so far has been Obsession, and hold on, I'm gonna let you know what other. Oh, I watched Scream 7. You know, but I thought that was a good movie. I actually loved it.
Hey, Scream. Scream is like that's like nostalgia for me. I feel.
You know what I'm saying? So it was for me too. And then honestly, with the jokes they had, it was all up to date. You know, like modern or what we got today. You know, so I just. Right. I was dying, bro. You know, I was literally laughing my ass off while, you know, I had people probably like next to me, probably annoyed, but I'm just that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying my movie to the fullest. Scream 7, Obsessions. I know I watched another movie. I don't know why it's like not in my head, but I mean.
Well, you said you watched Evil Dead Burn, no?
No, I want to watch Evil Dead Burn. Because I did get caught up because I never watched the first 2. I did got caught up though. I watched both Evil Dead and Evil Dead Rise.
Gotcha.
And what I was told was that Evil Dead Burn was the better movie out of all those, you know, for those 2. So I'm like, I guess I'm gonna go in with a open mind, open heart, you know. So. We'll see if it takes me away. But like I said, my real list that I really want to watch, like I said, is Masters of the Universe, you know, and Spider-Man. I also do want to watch Supergirl. Now, what's funny is that like we had this conversation, Davino, that I kind of had this like excitement for Lobo, but then like the true reality kind of kicked in for me, which was, I guess, or like I guess the glass that broke for me was that, you know, Jason Momoa like is like the same actor in almost all his movies, and right, even to say like even his shows, I love his show C, and even the Chief of War,
yes,
you know, but again, those shows show you exactly why Jason Momoa, I guess, plays his role the way he does, I guess, you know. You know what I mean? But
well, not really. The way he played Lobo fine. But I'll be honest with you, he didn't have to be in that film. He didn't make the movie. He didn't make anything.
Yeah,
he didn't have to be in there at all.
I agree with he didn't have to be in the movie. I don't know if I agree with him playing Lobo fine. Well, fine, yeah, maybe fine. I guess that's right, because he didn't play him great. You know, it wasn't a great performance. It wasn't anything that was like, oh, that's Lobo. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, that's Jason Momoa playing Lobo. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I felt.
I mean, I liked him as Lobo. but he didn't have to be in it. They didn't need
Yeah,
him.
I mean,
He
I
wasn't
think
no
maybe
impact.
that's what it is. Maybe if I would have gotten more of him, I could have had a better critique of him. But because there's very little of him, and essentially there's nothing to him being in the story that moves the needle in any kind of way for the story of the movie, maybe that's why I feel the way I feel about him. Personally, in my opinion, what really threw me off with the character was when we got the same war cry or war laugh cry. I don't know what to call it, that he does with almost every character he has, and he did it with Lobo too. And now we live in a universe where Aquaman and Lobo have the same yeah, like that kind of thing, and it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's why I know what you're saying. Maybe when you're saying like Jason Momoa is like almost the same character in almost everything. Not that he is exactly that, but there is something that kind of about him, who he is, that translates into every character he plays. But I do feel like the exceptions for me, where like at least you see more of him like actually doing more acting, or not necessarily more acting, but where like he doesn't necessarily get to be himself completely, is his character in C. Although you kind of get glimpses, but I feel like that's kind of allows him to be, it restricts him from being able to fall into his comfort zone of doing him. And essentially, I guess his character in Game of Thrones that didn't let him do that. Other than that, yeah, you kind of, even like this character he played in Frontier on that series on Netflix. It was like, all right, you're Jason Momoa in the times of the colonies setting in the United States. So yeah, I know what you mean by that. But yeah, all that to say that I agree with you though. Like, him in that movie really was a waste of time.
He didn't have to be in it. He didn't
have to be in it. He didn't.
I mean,
and honestly, but personally, in my opinion, I have a lot that I really just had problems with the Supergirl. There are some things that I did like, but a lot of it just really got under my skin. Not under my skin.
Yeah,
I'm exaggerating, but
I mean, the way they make it
sit well with
to be like it's just this horrible film. It ain't horrible. It ain't great. It's okay. So
yeah,
but
yeah,
but for
like
me to go out,
just okay, like, you know what I mean, like it. Like I always thought, I feel like you can go and get entertained by it. Maybe it's an entertaining movie. Like,
yeah, certain
you might be
elements.
entertained by it. If that's what you're looking for is like jokes and action sequences, then you'll be fine.
But all I can say, all I would say is that it's just for later on this year. Yeah, I mean, like, people, like I said, we're talking about films, and later on down in the year, which I forgot about Clayface, which I'm not going to go see because I'm not interested in it. I'm really not interested in it. Now, who might be interested in it? It might be a lot of women, because it's a horror. It's supposed to be like some horror type thing.
Right.
They're gonna be interested in it. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, so be it. I'm not really for it or whatever like that, because my thing, and then we got, just for this year. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some nice films that come out this year, but now, I think I'm really gonna spend my money. I'm gonna spend 2 more times for my money in the theater this year, and it's going to be Odyssey. No, you know what? I take that back. That's a lie. I'll do it 3 more times. I'm gonna say fuck it. I'm gonna go see Odyssey. I'm gonna go see Spider-Man. Okay. And I'm going to see Doomsday.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see that. This is the first time, and the only thing is that I didn't have to worry about paying for movie because I had a membership. But now that Regal took away the actual the month subscription.
No.
Yeah, they took it away. Now you gotta pay for 3.
Oh.
Now you gotta pay for 3. So now I'm like, forget it now. I'm not gonna pay for 3 months. And I'm not gonna pay for 3 months, and I know, like, I already know what I'm going to see. So I would get the month subscription, and I'm like, okay, so I know these 3 movies come in this month. So let me just get the subscription, and then and me and my girl at the time, we would just go to the movies, and we'll just watch random movies because we had the pass. Don't get me wrong, it was sweet having it because we just watched stuff just to watch it. But now I ain't doing all that. I ain't doing it. I like going to the movies, but now since they took it away, I'm like, there ain't no point because it's gonna be a point. I'm not gonna even go to the theater unless I just go there to be random and just watch random movies, which I could do, but you know, I'm not doing all that. So yeah, but those next three, yeah, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty much in the same boat. Just add Dune to that, and that's where I'm at with it. You know,
you never know. You never know. I might, because Dune really wasn't on my list. I'm not a Dune fan like that.
Did you at least watch the first two?
I watched the first one. I didn't watch the second. No, actually, I did watch the second one. I went to sleep.
Man, for real? Oh,
yeah,
man,
I went to sleep
because I've heard people say they fell asleep in the first one, and that I get. It's a slow build in that first one. I feel like the second one was like a lot of action, like bah, 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 and
I just never really got into Dune like that. I was just never doing. Now, can I sit there and can I watch it and just like you know what? Let me sit here and let me go ahead and watch it. I'll watch it. I did that with Dune 1. Because when I watched it the first time, I went to sleep. The second time I watched it again, I didn't go to sleep. So I was just like, okay, now I get it. And I enjoyed it. And I was like, well, let me go ahead and watch the second one or whatever like that. And I watched the second one. I did the same thing I did in the first one. I went to sleep. So I'll watch it on HBO Max.
Maybe you gotta watch it. Maybe you just gotta give it a second watch on HBO Max.
Yeah, I'll watch it a second time. It's like I'm not going against it because I know a lot of people enjoy it. It's just not me. But you know, like I said, I enjoyed the first one. It's not something I go out and be like, I gotta, you know. But you know, but that's just me. But but yeah, other than that, you know, I wait on this.
Okay, I mean, well, no, hey, look, honestly, Dune ain't for everybody. I had Sil on here not too long ago, and he's not a big fan of Dune. So it just ain't for everybody. But I do like Dune.
Everybody. It's not, you know.
Yeah, it's not.
I'll probably sit and do it. It's just like I gotta watch. Because I didn't watch it this year. I did that was last year. I didn't even watch the new Avatar. I'm about to watch that.
Me neither.
I didn't even watch the new Avatar. I didn't even watch it. So I'm just like, you know, it's on Disney Plus right now. So I can watch it, but I'm not.
I mean, I'll be honest, Prime. I didn't even watch the second one.
You didn't watch the second one?
I haven't.
I don't even remember the second one. And I got them on disc. That's sad. That's how I put it to you like this, bro. I got the actual disc. I kid you fucking not, dog.
Yeah.
I probably put the disc in the player twice since I bought it. I watched it twice. And you know how long ago that was? I played it twice. So I just like, I don't even remember it. So I'm just like, I mean, I know some parts of it. And you're like, I'm like, okay, I'll go back. And I'm not saying, and I'm a James Cameron fanatic. So
yeah, no, for sure. Same. Love his work. Love his work. But for some reason, when it came to Avatar 1, I saw it in theater. I loved it. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. Obviously, like, you know, it has its tropes, you know, but it's like, it's all right, you know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cinematic, you know, masterpiece for its time, you know. I'm like, damn, like that's crazy, you know. But for some reason, when part 2 came out, I just didn't have that same itch to go to feel that I had to go watch it. You know what I mean?
And I saw same thing. I did.
That you saw it in the theater?
Was tight. Yeah, I saw it in the theater. Me and my ex-girl went to go see it. We saw it in 3D. It was tight.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. It was. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking, now I'm starting to remember shit. Now I'm starting to remember. But as for the Blu-ray,
right.
when I got it, when I bought it on Blu-ray, I only put it in there twice. So, and it's not a bad film. It's not.
Right.
I just got to go back and revisit it to watch it before I go into 3. I watched part 1 so many times. I ain't got to watch that. But
that's what I'm saying. I definitely watched that a lot. Definitely watched the first one a lot. That second one, for some reason, I don't know. I didn't have the itch to watch it in theater, and I want to watch it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I know it's on Disney Plus. I intend to watch it. I intend to watch the third one. I actually had when I went to go see Mandalorian and Grogu, I watched that in 4DX 3D experience. So like it was 3D, but then the 4D experience too. So like the chairs moving with the ships, lights are flashing for the, you know what I'm saying? Mist is coming at me when water's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's cool ass. Matter of fact, like Mandalorian and Grogu was like the perfect movie to watch that in, because the ambiences that it's involved in really complements the 4D experience. But all that to say that dude who was sitting next to me said the same thing. He's like, man, like this was just as good as when I went to go see the third Avatar. He said it was just as good because the same thing, right? Like the world of Avatar and the things that it allows for that 4D experience to actually be that immersive. You know,
yeah, I gotta experience that shit. Well, I gotta go out of town to do that. I gotta find out which other city. I think I know it's not here. We ain't got it here. I know. I gotta travel far to do it. So,
no doubt. I mean, look, I'll be honest. Yeah, with Clayface too, I there was a part of me that was looking forward to it at one point. But I don't know. If I'm being honest with you, Prime, my faith in DC has dwindled. You know, like for what you know, what I'm saying, it just dwindled. Like you know, like it's been snuffed out. And look, like for those who do appreciate, I guess, what's going on with DC, like kudos to you. Like I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like Superman. I'm glad you like Supergirl. I'm glad you enjoyed it all, and that you're having a good time with it. Although a part of me feels a lot of them are not. I feel like a lot of people that do like it aren't necessarily DC fans. They're more like James Gunn fans or like
pretty
Marvel
much
fans. You know what I mean? Because I think any honest DC fans knows that there's something like lacking. There's something missing. There's, you know, it's DC just isn't what it used to be, you know? And so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. So like when it comes to Clayface, I'm kind of like, I don't even know if I want to watch that. And the thing is especially once I heard Gunn say that it's he's got a hand in it, I'm like, oh Jesus, like everything you touch right now it's not doing well, you know what I'm saying? So at least to me, you know.
I mean, even with that, I mean, because which is true, because I would say this is that you got a couple of projects now with DC, and just me personally, and it's kind of how should I say, it's kind of baffling because it's a double-edged sword. They're getting catered to, like you just said, it's Gunn fans and a lot of people that like that particular style that Gunn does. Okay, it's not particularly DC. Now, some of the characters that he might have brought is cool if you are a DC person. If you know the characters and you're a DC person, cool. But if you're a person that really don't know and all this stuff, if you don't, they ain't gonna know. So my thing is that I'm not appreciating the way how Gunn is constructing the DCU. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Lantern is gonna be good at all.
I know, dude, and that I hate that so much, man, because I love the Lantern.
I don't think it's gonna be good at all, dog. I really don't. I think they really to the point. They really and it's sad. And you know what's so sad for me saying that? It's HBO original. HBO made it. That's the sad part.
That's the sad part. 100%.
That's the sad part.
100%.
Right.
100%.
That's the sad part.
Because HBO original, they don't miss.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy to think like that because it is it's going to be an HBO original and it's a DC property. But then the way you're trying to do it, I'm like, I don't know, but we have to wait. We might be completely wrong.
The truth of the matter is we have to wait. Yeah.
We got to wait and watch it because we ain't got no more. They come out next month, right?
Next month. Yeah.
Next month. So we ain't got long, but I'm telling you, and anybody that watch this and watches later, I'm telling you, the only DC original series that was DC that came out that was fire. Penguin. You already know what I'm saying, Vega.
Penguin.
It ain't matching that.
Yeah, no.
Oh no!
You know it's not. That's the sad part. We know it's not. We know it's not. Oh my gosh! And that's a kill. So it's not. You know what I mean?
It's not matching that.
That was fire.
Yeah, Penguin was fire.
And then the crazy part is we just got a teaser for Batman that ain't coming out till 2028.
But
we're in a drought.
I know. But actually, I'm kind of happy.
So crazy.
You know what? Because people are looking at it selfishly because everybody's anticipating Batman 2. I'm looking at it as a good thing that they pushed it back. Now, I don't know if you read the article from the Hollywood Reporter. Well, the reason why they pushed it back was that it's because it was a schedule. It was a schedule restraint with him and J.J. Abrams. So with the Batman being there, J.J. Abrams really wanted that spot. So contractually, he had to have that spot. So Warner Brothers decided, you know what? We're going to push you up. actually, that's good for Reeves. You want to know
Yes.
why?
Yes.
Because the movie don't come out till February 18th. That's a Saturday. And to my acknowledgement, there ain't gonna be no major competition with that.
Yes. Yes.
It ain't gonna
Yeah.
be no major
Not only
competition
that, but
in
then
February.
yeah, not only that, but it gives you enough time to, not that it necessarily needs it, I don't think, but it gives you enough time to appease the new owners. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Well,
don't have to,
that's but
you know, it
also
separates
gives
you
Reeves
from
time to
whatever's
do it.
happening right now with DC for whoever comes, you know, for when Paramount comes in, because it's gonna happen. It is, you know. And when they come in and they say, yeah, this was, you know, just not doing what we needed to do, it separates you from that, and then it gives you time to, it gives you time to be like, or for them to say, okay, that's coming out in 2028. Let's see what it does. We know Penguin was well received. Batman, the Batman did some. It actually did some okay numbers. It did good numbers, I would say. You know, and everybody knows I have my gripes with that Batman. Like,
Oh, you don't like the Matt Reeves Batman?
man, you know, I I just you know, I like everything about it except the direction they decided to go with Bruce Wayne and Batman. Like that's it. Because everything else, I thought the tone was great. The villains, the city, the score, you know, everything was great. It was truly you know, again, our very artsy, artistic. What I love to see out of a DC, you know, like something that's that like compelling. But my
Yeah.
only gripe, and this is just a personal one, is just Batman. You know, like, or, you know, their version of
Nothing
Batman.
wrong with that.
And not saying it can't exist. It can. You know, it's a multiverse.
can.
That's a version of Batman that now exists. Just definitely not my favorite. You know, I don't like a Bruce Wayne that's still brooding in some weird emo kind of way and has this lack of immaturity with his relationship with Alfred. I didn't like to see that. I didn't like to see.
But he's young though. That's
I
the
get
point.
that, but still, like,
Yeah,
you think about
he's
this.
young.
I'm gonna tell you why I can't give that the excuse, right? We had Batman Begins, and that's a younger Batman. And that Bruce Wayne came correct in his relationship with Alfred. You got what I'm saying? So, like,
I
this
see
is
what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
you know what I
I see
mean?
what you're
We got a year 2 Batman with Bruce, with Matt Reeves, the Batman, and somehow he's still immature compared to a year 1 Batman that we got with, you know, Nolan's Batman.
Right.
So that's that aspect, and then obviously I am a fan of I like this League of Shadows story plot to Batman. I like the fact that he's a ninja as much as he is a detective.
Right.
And you're not getting that with this Batman. He's more like, I'm just in your face. You know, I'm here to kick your ass. I am vengeance.
I'm glad you
Yeah.
put that up. I'm glad you said
Yeah.
that, because people need to understand is that each director and each writer is going to have their own perspective of doing the character, and either you're going to like it or you don't. Now,
Right.
me personally, I don't care for the Pattinson Batman like that. What I love the universe.
Yes. Yes.
The universe I
with you on
love,
that. I'm with you on
because
that.
to me, out of all the Batmans that we don't watch,
Mhm.
in my humble opinion,
Yes.
Matt Reeves' Gotham, that's Gotham to me. And Matt Reeves'
Yeah.
Gotham, that is Gotham
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
That is Gotham. And then
I hear
with
that.
Penguin,
No, I can.
No, I was going to say with the Penguin and
Yeah.
with the
Oh, yeah.
Penguin show, what that did is it put you in the depths of Gotham. That's why I
Yes.
hope
Yes.
when part 2 comes out, I hope that's where Matt Reeves is going, where he's going to go far into the depths of Gotham. I'm talking about really going to the depths, huh?
Yeah, I agree. No, I mean, again, when I saw the teaser, I'm like, yeah, this is the one thing in DC that I'm actually looking forward to. You know, because again, yeah, that's the only world that's been given that actually feels like it's right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And again, it's not to knock. You know, obviously, you were comparing it to the other Batmans. It's not to knock those, but there's a few things to understand here. One is, like you said, every director has their own approach, right? Nolan, as much as he gave us Batman, and this is why when people were trying to compare Nolan's Batman to like Affleck's Batman, right? And then the people were so, and again, no fault of their own, it's ignorance, but they were under the assumption. A lot of people were under the assumption, and all because this Batman was a popular Batman, right? As far as the Nolan Batman, they were under the assumption that that's Batman, that's who Batman is, that world, whatever. And it's like,
Yep.
And it's like, not really. Like, yeah, there's glimpses of it. True. Like as Batman fan, like, yes, it exists. But that's actually not Batman. And not even that universe. It's not really Batman, but there's Batman-esque themes to it, But because it was so popular, people thought that was what Batman was and what he's supposed to be. And it's like, that's close enough for what we've gotten so far, But even then, like, the reality is technically, like, Batman 89 is closer to a Gotham than what we got in Batman Begins, Batman Begins is pretty close, but you know what I'm saying? Like, everything after that is it's. But again, I know what Nolan was trying to do artistically, directorially, his vision. It was just a different vision, and it worked. It clearly worked. You know what I mean? The money speaks for itself. He did with that essentially what I think he's trying to do with the Odyssey is, how do I take this mythology, this mythological character that is only beloved by a criteria of people, and how can I deliver it to the masses, right? And dude, we just can't deny Nolan's effect and his Batman. It's a fact that it had on pop culture. You know what I mean? So I believe that's what he's now doing with the Odyssey. But all that to bring it back and say, that still isn't Batman, not really, and even the Gotham, that's not really fully Gotham. And then for anyone who would then try and critique, then you get Zack Snyder's Ben Affleck Batman, and it's like, I will say that's the closest Batman we've gotten, yes. Yeah. But unfortunately, because we never got to see Ben Affleck's Batman
film, we didn't get a chance to see the Gotham that he wanted to present.
We never got a chance to see the Gotham and the villains that exist in it. So that's unfortunately the paradox we live in. And now we have Reeves' universe that he's delivered on that. You know what I'm saying? On a Gotham that feels like Gotham, like it's almost like, again, so it's the opposite effect for me. Like, it's like, you did everything right with the Gotham, but you didn't give me Batman. you know what I'm saying? But you didn't deliver on Batman. And then here's the truth is, when I saw that movie, probably, I kid you not, all I thought to myself was like, if only we had Ben Affleck Batman in this movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, if only he existed in this world, then it would have felt complete. I would have felt like, man, I am watching the animated series in live action. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it would have felt for me. But anyways, all that to say that that truly is the only thing DC fans have to look for, is that, and everything else, unfortunately, right? I don't say that with glee. I say that with I don't know what the word would be, but it doesn't bring me comfort to say that. It's just the truth. Unfortunately, like you said, like, as much as I would love to be excited for the Green Lantern series that's about to come out, I just know it's not going to do it, just because of what we've seen so far. I'm like, I can already tell you're missing certain points. That being said, though, I still agree. Like, well, I still got to watch, like everything else. I'm still going to watch it because, again, I knew Supergirl I knew it wasn't going to be what I wanted it to be already, just because of just the trailers, the remarks I got. But I still want to go watch it because that's just who I am. I have to watch it to give it a fair critique. So to say I watched it through and through, and this is what it is, So Green Lanterns, I'm going to watch it, and I hope I'm wrong, Prime. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they pivoted and said, okay, you know what? Maybe we are wrong about the Lantern suit not being green. Maybe we are wrong about him hanging up a Green Lantern suit on a hanger.
Me personally, when he said that I have to see his take, I'm just going to see his take. I don't agree with it, but then at the same time, again, we have to see his take and see where he goes with it. My only thing is that now my only question, even with that, now I'm going to ask you this: and we
Yeah.
and then we'll go from there. It's like I don't think the DCU is gonna. I don't think the DCU is gonna make it.
I don't either, to be honest.
I don't think so neither. The only way I'm gonna say it like this. And for everybody that's out there, I know y'all probably like good, y'all like the DCU. I'm gonna tell you my opinion on why I believe that the DCU. Now, I said that if Paramount does this merger, when the merger does go through, it's going to happen. It's happening.
Right.
When it does happen, they're not going to do no dramatic changes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what actually changed, in my opinion, is this: Gunn is not going to lose his spot. He's going to get demoted.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that he's probably not going to be co-CEO no more. He'll start probably writing direct, but he's not going to be co-CEO. They're going to have to bring in somebody that knows how to actually run it and to construct it properly. Now, people need to understand is that his contract is up in spring, the end of spring, middle of
spring of next year,
summer of next year. Because actually his contract was supposed to end this year in October. But Zaslav gave him an extension because of that Man of Tomorrow. So now we'll allow him to either keep his position. It's going to be all how Man of Tomorrow comes out. If Man of Tomorrow is a hit, a hit,
good luck.
Oh my God. If Man of Tomorrow is a hit, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm about to say this. If Man of Tomorrow is a hit, he will probably save his job. He will probably save his job if Man of Tomorrow is a hit. Because I'm going to tell you this. Even though Clayface got a low budget, I'm talking about this low. I think they only filmed it for like 45 million?
Like very low budget. Very low budget. So it should make profit. It's going to make profit.
It's going to make a profit. Now, let's just say hypothetically, I'm going to throw it out there. Let's just say Clayface makes 300 million. It might get a little bit more than that, knowing that people are going to go, oh, what's this? It's something new. Let me look. But let's just say hypothetically get 300 million. Well, they're going to make a profit off of it. They're going to make some money off of it, so they're going to get a little bit of money.
Right.
Then, let's say hypothetically, Lanterns is something that is good on a streaming service. I'm just saying hypotheticals. If it happens.
Right.
Now,
it could happen.
let's just say they got 2 wins with that, but Superman flops. He's still going to lose his job.
Right. Because
Superman,
you're talking about
that Man of Tomorrow. That Man of Tomorrow was a big ass budget. You think they ain't spending no money on that? They're going to spend a lot of money. And that marketing, when it's time for it to come out, they're going to go all out on that. So if it don't make no money, and it got a lot of motherfuckers in that shit too. It's going to be a lot. So we have to look at it from that standpoint. But if it doesn't go like that, I will believe. But how I look at it is like this. Even if Man of Tomorrow does make money and it does get good, it does, let's just say hypothetically, everything is good. But I believe Paramount is going to come in and I think they're going to make some dramatic changes. I think he will get demoted from his co-CEO. But he won't lose his job being a director and a writer.
No, you can't. Well, hold on. I lean on the side of what you're saying more than what the other side of it. Although I will say I do think the other side is still plausible. But overall, I think you don't you can't get rid of a director who's, regardless of having some very incredible misses, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? He has hit. You know what I mean? So you can't just you don't want to just throw that away. I would assume if you're
Paramount
Ellison, right, walking in, right, Paramount. So yeah, I agree. You might just demote him and say, "Look, man, this CEO cap, you're not doing well with it." You know what I'm saying? Let's take that cap off. Let's take that cap off and just go write something. You know what I'm saying? And something more obscure. Let's I need you to keep your hands off these main characters because you're just not doing them justice. Because I think really and truly that's what happened. Like I feel like your bread and butter is in the obscure. Like that's where you shine essentially. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, I've said it before. Like, a lot of us give him that credit for Guardians, and I won't even give him that credit for Guardians because personally, I feel when it comes to Guardians, there's a few factors that come to the success of Guardian other than just absent of James Gunn. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Absent of James Gunn, there's reasons why Guardians of the Galaxy was successful. But that aside, I feel like you can still look at movies like Brightburn. You can still look at movies like, hell, the Suicide Squad. My only issue with it was that there was already a Suicide Squad, and you kind of just contradicted these characters that already existed and who what they were already in that universe. That's my only issue with it. Had that movie not existed and whatever you did with it, it was what it is. Like that's your cup of tea. It was funny.
He's good with team ups. He just good with team ups, man. He good.
Yeah, he does that. Like that's your thing. Team ups, but again, obscure characters like the unknowns, the B list, the C list. Like that's your bag. Yep. You know what I'm saying? You have no business touching A-list characters. I'm just gonna say that. You have no business touching A-list characters. I'll just say that because
good thing
you had a shot with Superman. You could have.
And I'll say this because even with the Superman, this is the thing that's rubbing me the wrong way with the Superman stuff. You bring in all these other. No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I said this: if you're going to do this and you're going to bring in all these people, yes, it's good. You got to utilize the Trinity to showcase these characters. My only question to you is this: it's like, I'm not liking the way that you portraying Superman with this. Because if you really, really watch if you watch that Superman film, if you really watch it, look, I'm not trying to go down the rabbit hole with that again. All I'm saying is that he made him a bitch. Let's put it like that.
You did.
He made him a bitch. So I'm like, okay, cool. You decide to do that. Then you decide to go with his cousin, which, okay, I'm not mad at that. If you're going to portray Kara, and that's what you're going to do, you could have did it in a totally different way. And they wanted to do with the Woman of Tomorrow. I didn't think they was going to go that way with it. I thought they was really, really going to stick with the format of Woman of Tomorrow and really, really go hardcore. They didn't do that. So I'm like, okay. And then the thing that's rubbing me the wrong way is this. You want to do all this other dumb shit and want to bring all this out. Right. Why are y'all disrespecting Diana? That is my only thing. We don't need another Batman film because that's all everybody is thinking about is Batman. We don't need Batman. You can pretty much set the DCU up and wait for Batman down the line. You can set the DCU up with Superman and Diana, use Green Lantern, then bring Flash. Then when it's time to bring Batman in, you bring Batman because right now it's too much Batman shit, to be honest. It's too much.
No, there is. I mean, it's
it's just too much Batman shit.
Yeah, it's the blessing and the curse. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of great Batman stuff out there, but it's the curse because it's only Batman. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and the thing that's going to overshadow it, which a lot of people, I mean, again, and I'll say this last point is that once they announced that they was going to do the animated or the CG absolute Batman, I was like, okay, y'all fucked up. It's a wrap now because now you're going to really do that. It's a wrap now because you're going to do that. And if people ain't really reading the absolute series, you don't know what you're missing. So
right. Oh man.
Right. Oh man. That's all of them. That's Diana, Bruce, and Cal. I'm talking about all of them.
But hold on. But that's the point, right? You just that's the point. Is in every, to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, Prime, but in every new iteration, new timeline, new universe of DC reintroducing itself, it's always the Trinity up front.
You got always up front. You don't
come bring some B-lister as a, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Right.
It's always Superman. It's always Wonder Woman. It's always Batman. It's always the Lantern, Flash. It's the League. You start with the League. Every
Got to.
iteration of every universe that I've read, and it's the League. You start with the League. Everything else comes after.
Right.
Why
the
do
Trinity
you
is
do
always
anything
first.
different?
Oh, you gotta nail the Trinity first, and then everybody
Gotta.
falls right in behind them. That's how it's supposed to be. And I get it.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Gunn did the right thing by starting it off with Superman. Don't get me wrong.
100%.
You're supposed to start off with Superman, period. That's what you're supposed to do. But
right, but that's the thing. You didn't start off with Superman, period. You brought in this whole
Christian Commando started it off fully.
Yeah, that's the reality. Actually, if we're gonna be honest, that's right. The Creature Commando started this off.
Right.
It's not even like you started this off with Superman. You technically started it off with that. You can even make the argument that you technically started it off with Peacemaker. You know what I mean? You can actually make that argument. You know what I mean? This is what you start your universe with. You know what I mean? And then you're gonna start. Oh well, I'm gonna start it with Superman, right? Cinematically, but it's not a Superman movie. It's not an entendre. It's an ensemble.
Yeah.
You bring this ensemble of characters that don't even.
Well,
like not even great. The only character that really stuck out, in my opinion, was Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific, and what people don't know, and Mr. Terrific is a B tier character.
He's a B tier character.
He B tier.
But again, that goes back to that's your bag, bro. Your bag is
that's B tier, and that's not bad. That's not bad.
There's nothing wrong with that, but you just gotta know your role.
B tier is fine, but when you start doing stuff, when you start going to the C and D's, and you start putting them to the forefront. Nah, bro. No. It's okay doing A and B tier characters. That's fine. But when you start doing the goddamn the C's and the D's, oh no. No.
But look, here's the thing, Prime, is that's his bag. That's his bag. You know what I'm saying? That's his bag, and that's why I repeat, you have no business touching A tier characters. I do not like what you did with Green Lantern. Like I just don't like that. That's the Lantern. Even if it's somewhat close to, someone, and honestly, it's not really like it's accurately to that kind of Guy Gardner of Green Lantern, but even if that was the argument being made, why the hell did you choose that Lantern? Because that's not
that Lantern. Because Guy Gardner, don't get me wrong, he an asshole.
He is, but you know what I'm saying? But like, if you're gonna introduce the Lanterns, the Green Lantern, you introduce the ones you're gonna get in the series. It's Hal Jordan and John Stewart.
I get it. But that's the thing.
Like, if you're gonna bring the Green Lantern into a film, the Lantern you give the film to, not the Guy Gardner. What are we doing here? And then what he did with Hawkgirl, don't even get me started. I mean, dude, I can go in a whole tangent.
I'm not going in there. And if you want to bring it in that direction,
my whole point is he had no business touching these characters, is what I feel. I'm okay with, again, I honestly, I do believe Gunn can do what he does, like with the characters he's good with doing them with, right? I think he's good with doing B, C, even D tier characters, right? He's good, again, dealing with the obscure characters that nobody really knows about, hence why he can play around with them in his little sandbox that he likes, that he's in, right? Because the reality is even with that, like, if I'm going to be honest, when you take prominent characters like Superman and then you put them in this sandbox of yours that's kind of like weird and twisted and perverse almost, which again, you do that with any other character, I really don't care. I'm willing to see what you're doing there, but when you're dealing with it with characters like, again, just Superman, like the purest of the purest, you know what I'm saying? Like absolute, you Superman is who he is, you know what I mean? Even with iterations that try to veer in a different direction to, like, not even like, when I say different, like, let's just say absolute Superman, right? Even reading that Superman, there's still hints of the pure Superman we know, even though we're getting a very different, like, origin story to that Superman, you know what I mean? And that's what you failed to do. You know what I'm saying? And you do these weird things that you bring into these movies. Again, I don't care when you do it with like the suit. Although, I mean, the only reason I care that you did it with the Suicide Squad is that again, the Suicide Squad already existed. The characters that existed in David Ayer Suicide Squad had different personalities, different personas to them, to how you treated them, and it became a joke. And again, if David Ayers didn't exist, it would have been fine, because like you're dealing with, again, B-list, C-list characters anyway. So it's like, okay, cool. The obscure. But because they were already put in like a badass way that I actually, vibed with. Again, Amanda Waller being the Wall in David Ayer's Suicide Squad, as ruthless as she was, and then for you to just kind of play her the way you played her in your movie, like, you know what I'm saying, things like that, whatever. Anyways, who cares? Again, I'm not trying to go on a tangent, but the whole point is that's your bag, and you came and you, in my opinion, again, you missed the target when it came to the Superman movie, and then sadly said you sabotaged the Supergirl movie, and now we know that the Supergirl movie we got is actually your cut. That's how much of, and again, and now we're talking about just who Gunn is as a person, and that's the guy you are. You came and you stole a movie from somebody, from your own director. So that's why I agree with you when you say Ellison's going to come and he's going to get demoted. I think if Man of Tomorrow does well, he might keep his job, but he's still getting demoted, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
I think I believe he's not good as a CEO.
You're not, no, because of the direction that he's actually putting this stuff in. Because right now, and I'm agreeing with everybody getting mad and upset, and with me being a DC dude, even anybody that I talk to, okay, I'll be honest.
Right.
The Supergirl movie was not the right call, period, for the second film.
Period.
That should have been Wonder Woman or a Green Lantern tops.
Yep.
Tops.
Yep.
It should have been one of them.
If I'll be honest with you, I would have taken Flash. If I'll be honest with you, I would have taken Flash.
Either one.
It has to be a league member. It has to be a league member.
You got to have something that is a tier A character in DC. And if you want to bring the low tier characters and bring them in the universe, showcase them in that. Then you branch off with your movies to showcase those characters, because why? People saw them in that movie and they'd be like, oh, I'm interested about this character. Let me go see that. No. And it's like with the Clayface shit.
You know what's crazy?
Everybody don't know nothing about no damn Clayface. Honestly, if you're not a DC person, you're not gonna know who Clayface is. Yeah. And don't get me wrong. If you didn't watch Creature Commandos, you ain't gonna even get interested in this version of Clayface. You see what I'm saying? But they're not going with that version of Clayface from Creature Commandos. That's what was reported. And I'm like, well, what's the fucking point then? Because Clayface and Creature Commandos was tight.
I haven't seen Creature Commandos, so I can't speak on it. In my opinion, personally, I just feel anything that's DC that isn't directed by James Gunn, run from him. That's just how I feel.
I'm telling you, Creature Commandos is tight. I've
heard that, but I heard that it was good, but that towards the end it failed to land like the ending. That's what I've heard when it came to Creature Commandos.
It's good because you're gonna have to wait for another season.
So it had like an open ending.
Yeah, it's gonna be another season, but just the thing that's gonna get you.
Okay.
When you watch it, it's gonna tie into It's gonna tie into the Superman movie.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to watch it because I haven't watched it yet.
But what's gonna piss you off when you look at some of the actual future events?
Oh man.
I'm like, this mug gun is really messing up this universe, because this ain't leading nowhere towards that. When you actually go back and you watch it, I'm like, this ain't going towards that. So you really messed up the writing. So Creature Commandos, the first season, for what it's worth, it's tight as hell. That's probably, I would say, out of all the installments out of DCU right now, out of all of them,
that's what what you just said right now, I've heard too. I've heard people say that out of all the James Gunn DCU installments, that they felt Creature Commandos was the best.
Yeah, Creature Commandos is the best.
Makes sense again, because that's him. That's his bag. I get.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when I hear that, I'm like, I'm not surprised. Again, it's not that. Again, I'm not. I know there's a lot of people that will trash Gunn, and don't get me wrong. I think there are things about Gunn that I'm like, but at the end of the day, he still has done good work, right? Again, I will reiterate, even apart from Guardians, I thought Brightburn, him being produced like what he did on there, again, he was a producer on there. That was a great movie in my opinion. And again, even with the Suicide Squad, I enjoyed it as entertainment. Like, it was really some funny, Like I could actually see that as a, you know, it almost did feel more like a not more like, I don't want to say like that, but it felt like, man, if these characters didn't exist elsewhere already, and there was already a storyline and persona to these characters that existed, this actually would have been great, you know. But because, you know, because of that, it's you know, that's why it kind of loses the edge it could have had. But I do believe, and then now that being said, you go to the Guardians, and then like even Guardians I've enjoyed, right? So again, it's I do believe that's his bag. You know what I'm saying? I believe his bag is those obscure characters. You know,
Yeah.
I believe that, you know, and I feel like that's what he needs to stick to.
But trust me.
But there's just no way I think in my mind that he should have ever touched Superman. I don't, you know,
but with him being
please don't touch Batman. Please don't touch, you know, he should have never honestly even touched Supergirl, in my opinion. I don't think there's just certain characters I don't think are him. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
and it showed.
With him in his mind, if you really paid attention to what he said about the characters, that's why I say I don't agree with him being that. That's his interpretation. Okay, fine. Right. That's your interpretation. Okay. But at the same time, you know, he needs to do certain stuff like what he did with like I said, Creature Commandos. I ain't gonna kid you wrong, dog. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. You're gonna enjoy it. You are really going to enjoy it. I'm telling you. So that's some of his best work.
Right.
With him directing it and writing it. Yeah, with him writing it and producing it and directing it.
You're not the first person.
You said what?
Right. Yeah, again, like I said, you're not the first person to share that sentiment. Right? So that's why I know what you're saying is like spot on, because everybody's told me that. Everybody's told me Creature Commandos is his bag. You know, and again, it doesn't surprise me that kind of makes sense to me. Or not that it kind of, that just absolutely makes sense to me. I feel like that's where you should have stayed. You should have never bothered with Superman. You should have never touched Supergirl, because I would have liked to see Craig Gillespie's actual, you know, vision for whatever he had. Like you said, it was supposed to be more closer to the Women of Tomorrow. And again, if it was, I would have been perfectly fine with that. But when you see the movie, it's like a very perverted version of that, like just way off. Like it's like
right. It's so much stuff out the book that they didn't even do. Like for instance, like okay, I'll put you like this: the only thing that's from the book that's completely emulated from the book is Ruth, because she annoying in the book. Ruth is the only one. She's annoying in the book. And then, but there's like certain scenes that they change. Like, okay, they put a kryptonite sun. I'm like, what? Okay, I understand you want to be in space and all that. I was like, okay, I get it what the woman was trying to do, but come on, man, it's like y'all really y'all stretching it. And you know what? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna get mad about it. You're trying something different. Some people gonna like it, some people not. That's fine. Me personally, it didn't bother me. It was just cheesy as hell. Because when I went with my cousin and we was talking, and I remember, it's the only thing I'm gonna say about Supergirl. Remember when she was on the planet and she was messed up in that cave? And I'm like, my cousin like, now you know they gonna damn well bring up that yellow sun, right? You know that, right? I'm like, me and you on the same page. I already know what's gonna happen.
Right. It would be obvious.
Well, a couple minutes later, she died. She only died for 15 seconds. Then all of a sudden, the yellow sun pop up. I'm like, what type of shit is this? I was like, what the fuck? and then when I thought about it, because I critiqued the whole thing, I'm like, now y'all know. I'm like, for all people that are DC people that know you know that this movie exposed Superman, right? Do y'all know this movie actually exposed Superman? If he don't have the yellow sun, he can't do shit. So that means anywhere on Earth, if the sun is not available, he gonna lose his powers. Period. So it's like y'all pretty much expose something.
Yeah.
You pretty much expose something. If the sun is not available, even if it's a glimpse of the sun, he's not gonna have his powers. Ain't got nothing to do with the atmosphere. It's all about the yellow sun being exposed. And now,
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all just exposed something because I'm like, okay, whatever. We gonna leave it where it is. This is y'all universe. This is the way y'all doing it or whatever like that. So we just gonna leave that alone.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So pretty much. So now if they even do anything, so I mean, it is what it is. It was just a whole bunch of stuff. We laughed at it and we were just like, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah.
Because,
No, I mean,
you know,
I had no choice but
it
to
is
laugh
what
at
it
it
is.
too. I had no choice but to laugh at it. I was there, because like, who am I going to complain to? You know what I mean? Like, so I was just like, I just started laughing. I'm like, I can't believe this is what they're doing. Like I just laughed about it. Because it's like this is where we're at now.
Yeah,
You know?
it was funny the whole dang time, and I was just like, okay. Then I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to even shit on the movie. I'm just going to say, look, they did this film to make it fun. She wrote this to give her own personal take and do something different. And I guarantee Gunn influenced it because the motherfucker produced it. So
it's on record now. It's on
You said
record
what?
now. That's on record already, Prime.
Yeah,
That's the
he
crazy
produced
part.
it. He the one that produced it, and Nada is the one that wrote it.
Yeah, but it's what's on record now is that he did reshoots to introduce his own version of the film. Gunn
They
did
did?
that. Yes, Variety touched on this.
Oh, they did. See, I missed that
Yes.
memo.
Dude, oh yeah, I'm telling you, Variety touched on this. Gunn did reshoots to introduce his own cut. And then the sadder part about this, Prime, is that between how they were doing the what is it called, the screen
Green
screen
screen?
viewing, screeners or whatever, test screeners. There you go.
Oh,
test screeners.
okay, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Something like that.
The screening,
Yeah, there you go. The sadder part is that the Gillespie cut was still the most like appreciated over even Gunn's, and he's still in his own like ego went with his version.
What?
This is the world we live in, man. This is who Gunn is, and this is why I'm like, I hate going down that bubble because it's like I really try hard to separate the person from the art, and like the business, whatever the case may be. But like it's just hard to when like now you're the CEO and now you're like personally sabotaging your own director's movies. You know what I mean? Like that's what's crazy. Like
Are you
went far
fucking
beyond.
serious?
I'm serious. Like look, I swear
So
to you, Prime.
Gunn sabotaged it on. Here we go again. It's regurgitating. Motherfuckers interfering with shit.
I'm telling you, the Warner Brothers curse. The Warner Brothers curse.
What?
Bro, the Warner Brothers curse. And the sadder part, it came from a director himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would think you're a director, the last thing you want is someone to sabotage your own movie, but that's what he did. That's the crazy part, Prime. I guarantee you, I'm not making this up. It's in a Variety article.
Oh, I know. I believe you. I just didn't read the. The
I
article.
covered this last
Friday.
Friday, I believe. I believe it was last Friday or sometime last week. I was live with actually with both Sil and Carlos, and we touched on it. We talked about it, because we just couldn't believe it. Like.
Oh, well, with that news, that changes my whole narrative. He done. He done because the movie's
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why when I said earlier, you're right, except I think that even if Man of Tomorrow does do, let's just say decent, because honestly, I don't think it's gonna overperform. It might do well enough, it might do decent, because it's Superman.
Yep.
In the same way, in the same way Superman 2025 did well enough. Like it wasn't like the best movie, but it did well enough because it's Superman. People will go see Superman, right?
Yes.
So that might happen again with Man of Tomorrow. What I'm saying is regardless of however that film does, I still think he's getting the boot because of that truth coming out. Like your capabilities as a CEO or co-CEO of DC Studios, you've been exposed that you're not good at it. So you're gonna get the boot regardless, or at least demoted, like you said, and they might just keep you around to like tell stories. but you for sure are not keeping that job of co-CEO or co-head of DC Studios. There's just no way. After that coming out, there's just no way.
Now with the, like I said, and again, like I said, now that makes it even more concrete. He getting demoted. He not staying co-CEO.
Yeah. There's just no matter what, he's getting demoted. I think there's a world that he could get the boot, but he's for sure getting demoted. For sure. There's just no way. There's just no way. Once that story came out, Prime, I'm like, yeah, you're done. You're done as co-head.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
Good thing you told me that, because I'm gonna read that article. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna read
swear
it,
to you,
and I'm gonna be like, shit.
I'm telling you. Sill's the one who put me onto it. Like, he hit me up, and he's like, hey, we're gonna touch on this. And sure enough, I read it. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like, dude, it's out there. It's out there. It's out there. It's out there, bro.
Wow.
His skeletons are out there, man.
That just opens up the whole can of. All I can say is this. And you know what? Before I go, I'll say this. I know a lot of people probably want to hear this. We can do whatever. I know a lot of people probably anticipating that, that if this happens, if the Snyderverse will happen to come back or whatever like that and all this stuff like that. Y'all already know my stance on that. But all I would say is that all I would say is that, do I think that it will come back? No. But what I can say is that, do I believe Zack can potentially come back to direct? I do. I believe there could be a high probability of that, because I think I think I stand with you. We've discussed it before, right? So we don't have to go in depth, but I think where I stand with you on that is I just don't know if he'll be able to bring all those actors back. That's where I see the difficulty lying, right? Like, will you be able to bring all of them back into the fold? And here's the thing, that's harder to see now, even after how it seems like Momoa makes it seem like he's done with Aquaman. Like, did you see that video of him telling which is just crazy to me, because I'm like, bro, let's stop pretending as if like that ain't the role that gave you your celebrity status. Right.
So like the fact that you would dismiss it like it's some sort of curse or cancer it's insane to me. Like, bro, that puts you on the map for a lot of us, dog. So like, humble yourself.
Well, he was already on the map because of other stuff, but his big movie.
But no. What I mean is like, I'm talking about his status, like jumping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
I'm saying like,
and the piggyback of what you're saying is that this is the thing that people are overlooking.
Mm-hmm.
The production budget is going to be absolutely ridiculous if they even tried to bring them back. Right. They don't understand. This is the thing that people are failing to understand. Okay? Zack Snyder not cheap.
Right. Yeah.
Ben Affleck, even though he's older, he's not going to be cheap.
No.
Gal Gadot is not going to be cheap. And
because all those actors have only gotten bigger. Right.
You said what?
I said a lot of those actors, only with the exception of Ben Affleck, right? Ben Affleck has been big, so I can assume he was probably the actor who got the most paid.
He was the main one. He was the figurehead.
You know what I'm saying? But every other actor that maybe again became something after these movies, after these characters, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa. They are all bigger now. You know what I'm saying? So the bag for sure is bigger for them now. I imagine the only one you could probably get away with is like Ezra Miller and Ray Fisher. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of them, and again, it's between that. It's between like what other movies that they got going on. Now, granted, I say that, and because I've always posed the question, like, because I believe you're right on that factor, I've also posed the question, okay, if we want the Snyderverse to return, is there a world we are okay with different actors portraying these characters so long we get the story? And a lot of people, a lot of people just aren't they can't see that, and their argument, and again, it's a fair enough argument, but it's like I'm not sure it's enough to cover the expenses and the time, right? Because again, we have to imagine and assume a lot of these actors already have, again, because they're already now also big and famous, they have a lot of gigs coming up. They have their own projects, you know.
Exactly.
This idea that they can try and squeeze in, like I don't know, it's really hard sometimes to like fathom, to think it. As much as like I'll say this, I would love to see that. I'd love nothing more. You know what I'm saying? To see them come back, reprise the roles, him put a pin on those story, that storyline, and then make it in a way that allows for a universe to come out of that, with him being able to just then like kind of just take, sit back and relax, and then everything else kind of just flourish. Cool. I would love nothing more. But it is kind of hard to see that sometimes when I think about that. Like you said, like the money that they're worth, the time. Are they going to be available? It is hard to see that. But so with that being said, it is easier to see Zack Snyder coming back to direct DC again. Will it be the same? I don't know.
No, it won't.
But I love it to be the same.
He'll have his aesthetic on what he wants the film to be.
Which is what DC needs right now, if I'm being honest.
Right, basically.
That, like,
but
the
thing, and not to put it out there, but I did a video and broke the whole thing down from the history. But people fail to realize that what they forgot is that's why I say the production budget, you put the point right on the head. They have earned their status. Y'all got to remember, it started that started back in 2013. We're in 2026. That's been 13 years. Mm-hmm. Not only that they've gotten older, people fail to realize too, when they started the DCEU, it was a 10-year contract with everybody. That budget was already consolidated for 10 years. It was already set in stone.
Right.
The former executives and them, they fucked that up.
They dropped that. Yeah.
They fucked that up. They could have got that done what they already put set in stone with everybody contractual in that 10-year frame.
Right.
And everybody's schedule was already set. They had everything mandated. You can't do that now. And people start to realize that
the length
in the DCEU or whatever like that, there were a lot of big actors. You had KJ Simmons. You had Lawrence Fishburne. You had Amy Adams. You still got Kevin Costner that's going to play Pa Kent. How you going to get all these big major actors?
Yeah.
And I forgot about Kevin Costner. He ain't cheap.
He is not cheap. Russell Crowe.
Thank you. And even though Russell Crowe big as shit now because he ain't the same size he was back in 2013.
Yeah,
that's the point. Honestly. People fail to realize this, man. It's been 13 years for them to do this stuff. So, and then it's going to be added on more. Right. So if the DCU so happen to end, let's say they chop it, and let's just say they decide to do it in 2030. That's 20 years. Wait a minute. Am I right? 1, 2, 3. No, that's 17 years.
17 years. Yep.
That's 17 years.
And look, I'll say this, like, don't get me wrong. To me, I would love nothing more than this to happen.
Exactly. Me too.
I would love nothing more. Right? We both love nothing more. Like, yeah, there are some hurdles there. We just have to be honest about. And that's why I always pose the question, like, okay, are we okay with other actors taking on the mantles of these characters? Now, again, like, people always say, like, yeah, but they have a close relationship. And, like, I hope that's enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope it's enough for it to be that, like, Zack Snyder reaches out to Ben and Zack Snyder reaches out to Henry, and maybe, like, Henry's passion for Superman will allow him to, like, receive a humble paycheck. And, Gal Gadot, same thing, like, such a, great relationship. I believe Ray Fisher will be there day one. He's a day one kind of guy. He'll be like, I'm there, Ezra Miller, I think, would do it, just again, because I don't see him doing anything else at this moment. And I think Ben Affleck would come. But again, the money, I don't know if the money. Now, he has made some certain moves with his film. The Rip, that kind of might show that it's not about the money for him. So maybe there's wiggle room there, like, where he's willing to negotiate something smaller because it appears that he's has a heart at this moment to give. You know, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about when it comes to the movie The Rip, the way they did.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right. Okay. So, you know, because it's kind of eluding me how to word it, but you know what I'm referring to. Essentially where like all the crew got paid, like every single person that participated in this. Oh, essentially like, you know, those companies, for those who don't know what I'm referring to, you know, those companies that you essentially own shares to when you get hired or something like that. You own certain stock in the company type thing. It's something of that nature, except with the film, so that we're with every view and every play of the movie, contractually, every person that worked on the film got paid, right? So I say that to say there's a certain portion that may say, you can say, well, it looks like Ben Affleck's not about the money anymore. He's kind of, his heart is in a different place. Maybe might be the case, and you would hope that that's the case when if it happens, that Zack Snyder can have that conversation, and that's where he's at. But these are a lot of like contingencies that have to occur, you know, that you know, if they don't, if any one of those things don't add up or don't add up, don't match, then then it's not going to happen that way, And then again, I will repose the question: are we okay with that universe being, that story being finished, right? Because there's just no.
The only way it'll be finished, dog, is only two ways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there's only two ways. And I had a conversation with Jay Oliva.
Yeah.
I had a discussion with Jay Oliva, and I didn't think about it. And after I had the conversation, he actually tweeted it out.
Yeah.
And he basically said, he said the animation and doing the comic book is plausible. He said the question is with that is that will the actual production crew are willing to take a pay cut with that? Because the actual story is already set in stone and they're already getting paid for it. But for them to actually do it, are they willing to take a pay cut to redo it again? Are they willing to take a pay cut? I don't think they're going to want to take a pay cut.
Nobody wants to do that.
Right, and that's the problem. So what I'm saying is, but the only one that sounds more reasonable is animation and comics, or you do both. Okay? Or you do both like a tie-in. That'll be the only way that you can actually do it. And don't get me wrong, if you do the animation or CG, whatever which way they want to do it, will it be cheaper production-wise? Yes.
Oh, for sure.
It'll be cheaper and it'll make more sense. Now, if you do actual, AI or CG or whatever like that, okay, you could do that. It ain't gonna cost a lot of money to have everybody come in to appraise their roles and use their voice.
Right.
And so you can actually do that. But at the same time, it's a lot of obstacles, and there's a lot of things that a lot of people and a lot of people, y'all got to fail to realize. We're not saying we don't want the Snyderverse return. Trust me.
Right.
We love it to come back. Trust me, we want it back so bad. But it's too many obstacles.
There's a lot of obstacles there.
It's too many. And the only one that seems plausible to do it is going through animation. Live action, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, again,
live action ain't gonna happen.
It's just so many obstacles there. I will say this, like, I feel like the only reason I probably won't say it'll never happen is just because I feel we've been there before where, like, there was this idea that it'll never happen and it does happen. So it's like there might be a window there, like a tiny window that there's a possibility it actually can happen. And I think that does exist.
If I'll put it to you like this, I'm not going to disagree with you. The only way that will actually happen, and Zach wants to do both his films, you're going to have to film both of them at the same time. Right. He's going to have to film them both at the same time and get it out the way. That's the only way. And when it comes down to a budget, are they willing to take a pay cut to finish it, to do it for the fans and do it for Zach to get it done? If they're willing to do that. And I'm telling you, that's a lot of personalities.
That's a lot of personalities. That's a lot of ass. That's a big ass.
That's a lot of big actors and actresses. I mean, it's like people are watching the DCEU now and didn't even know that Russell Crowe Kevin Costner, Diane Lane, Amy Adams. I'm like, that's just some of them. Y'all
Yeah,
didn't know that the shit had a big ass all-star cast.
Yes,
I'm like,
yes.
like really?
Yeah.
I'm like, it is already bad enough, you know, and that's just them.
That's also that's what we're also not mentioning, or we need, especially when we talk about BVS. I mean, you're talking about they had personalities, real life personalities like Neil deGrasse Tyson and freaking Jon Stewart, and how much money you think they cost?
Oh,
Like,
forget about and there's another thing. Jesse Eisenberg is a head case now.
oh, Jesse Eisenberg, holy moly!
Forget about Jesse Eisenberg. Then
Totally
you gotta,
forgot
then
about
you
him.
gotta. That's what I'm saying. There is too many.
Yeah, no, yeah,
names.
it's a large world. It's a big ask. Yeah, that's what
Jared
I'm saying.
Leto.
I agree with you when I say I trust me when I it's like I know there's a difficulty there, and that's why I say there's a small window of possibility, and that's what I'm hoping for. But at the end of the day, like I am very well aware there's a big window with many obstacles. You know what I'm saying, that are just 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, whatever the number is, that will make it difficult. But
Yeah.
I agree with you. It has to be that it's shot back to back.
Yep.
The actors have enough love and passion for Zach, and the fans who fought for it to say, okay, to see this through, we'll take this pay. It has to be that. Now, the only reason I'm kind of still hopeful, though, is because if I'm Ellison, let's just say, and I'm coming in
Elsewhere, I know you're going.
you feel me?
I know exactly where you're going, dog.
And I just feel like there's an opportunity here to really do something big. You know what I mean? I just don't see him, and Paramount for that matter, and considering the kind of bag that they have, not willing to pay that kind of expense because they know the payoff will pay off.
But then you gotta look at it like this, though.
Mhm.
If you have that, you don't want to compete with your own property.
But I think at that point you're not. You know what I'm saying? You have to, put it like this.
But it's a double-edged sword because you might do the DCU for that particular audience, and you do the other stuff for the other audience. So it's a win-win. But which one is going to be more profitable? So the one that's going to be the profitable one is the one that you're really going to put the money into
100%.
and keep it going. So like I said, it's a double-edged sword. Don't get me wrong. I've thought about this too. I'm like, how would this actually work?
Yeah.
Because how I'm looking at it is that, okay, you don't want to undercut your own property. You don't want to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're going to have your own properties competing with each other.
Right.
You don't want to do that. But
at the same time, it kind of already happened, right? So a perfect, we already live in a world that's already happening, right? And we've already lived in a world that's already was a thing, and it's kind of, and it still exists, right? And I'm talking about Marvel, right? Keep in mind, Marvel had, or Disney was in Marvel, Fox, and Sony all at once at one point. And all these movies were competing against each other, right?
True.
And then let's just say at one point, even Netflix had a hand in this, right? That's how much the Marvel IP spread. And technically they were all competing against each other. And it wasn't shunned upon because there was money in their pockets regardless, right? Now, obviously, then Disney goes about their way to acquire whatever they can from Fox. They take back whatever they can from Netflix. But we still live in a world where Sony owns Spider-Man.
Yep.
And they're the competition to Disney. But does that dismay Disney from saying we're going to work together to make a bag?
They got that partnership.
Right? So I just think there's a way around that you can be like, we can win here, even if there's this,
But the thing that you fail to realize, though, there's nothing that they're competing with because DC is in-house. DC is not divided up into other properties. Warner Brothers owns DC completely.
But even more reason is my point. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I know what you get. I get what you're
you know what
saying.
I'm saying? Even more reason. Like if people that are separate companies can find a way, how the hell can you not find a way if it's all within under your umbrella?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's all about how they can actually, how they will actually do it. But all I can say is that time is going to tell after 2027. You ain't got to worry about the Batman. The Batman gonna make his money. I think the Batman 2 gonna make $1 billion automatically. That's a wrap. I think that's gonna make $1 billion automatically.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think that's gonna make $1 billion automatically.
If not $1 billion, close to it. Very close to it. Like very close. If not $1 billion, very close to it.
I say that too.
There's just no way because it's like the success.
It's too anticipated.
Insane. And
then what makes it even, you know what? You're right, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna stay concrete. I'm gonna tell you the reason why it's gonna make $1 billion. You wanna know why?
Why?
Because everybody, all these late bloomers are finally starting to watch the Penguin. They go back to watch the Batman, and they know the Batman 2 coming out. Oh, trust me, people gonna be waiting to see what's gonna happen on with that Batman 2. I'm telling you, if Matt Reeves does what, and I love Matt Reeves as a director, if I can read his mind, if I'm following the way that he's doing, I know, because Penguin not gonna really be in a movie all like that.
Right.
He's not. But if he's going to go the way that I'm thinking, because remember how Penguin ended.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. If he's gonna go the way that I'm thinking that he's going to go, that this trilogy gonna be off the fucking hook.
Oh,
and I'm telling you, and they said that the Penguin season 2 was canceled. No, dog. It's not. You got to bring it up. No. And I think the only reason, no, they saying that it's canceled. I'll put you like this. I get it, Colin Farrell. He gets sick and tired of dressing up to be the Penguin and getting in that costume. I know he does. But I'm telling you, he knows it's a fucking hit.
Yeah, and
he knows it.
It's a bag.
So my thing is that, look, it all depends on how Matt Reeves, it's all about Matt Reeves. It ain't about Farrell. He can say his own part. But Reeves knows he got a gold mine. He know he does. He know he got a gold mine. He know we do.
For sure.
Because when that part 2 come out, like I say, you're right though. It's either going to be close or it's going to go over $1 billion. Or it might exceed it. It might go 1.5.
Yeah.
You never know.
Sure. You never know. No.
You never know. 100%. So, and then my thing is they can't deny Matt Reeves after that. See, that's another thing that's bothering me. Because it ain't coming out to 2028. That could be doing the no. That won't make sense neither.
Yeah. Quick question. What is it the horror aspect of Clayface that's turning you off? Is that what it is? I'm just curious what's your turn off with Clayface?
The thing that's turning me off for Clayface is that he is a tier C villain for Batman.
Okay.
And you got to remember too, Clayface in Batman's realm is more fantasy. He's not the real grounded where you can actually use. You got
you're dealing with the science fiction side.
You're going to the more other parts of his rogues gallery. Mm-hmm. So if they did, and you got to remember, it ain't gonna be no Batman in it. Mm-hmm. You're dealing with a Batman. I don't know how they gonna do it. It's not interesting me. You never know. It might be good. I don't know.
I think we have to find. I think we're gonna find out. I think we've already gotten examples that you can technically get away with Batman villain content without Batman in it. Penguin is a prime example. Joker is a prime example.
But
you know what I'm saying? So we're talking. But now, granted, I hear you in the sense of like, but we're talking about the A-list, villains of Batman, right? From Joker to Penguin, 100%. Right.
Those A-list
so I get that, but nonetheless, we do live in a world now where we've had already 2 villains have their own, content and story be told without Batman technically in it. Maybe obviously Joker, there's the slightness of Bruce Wayne in there, obviously the Thomas Wayne story plot,
right? And
it did well enough, or not even. I say well enough. I'm being vague here because it made over $1 billion. and then Joker, or I mean, Penguin was beloved, you know, by everybody, right? So
If you don't like the Penguin, something wrong with you.
yeah, something wrong with you.
That's
Like,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. Something wrong.
Something wrong
That's
with
it.
you.
But that's the thing, though,
Yeah,
because the way that it was, and then what you're saying with the characters, with that, and with Clayface being that, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to watch it in the theater. I'm not intrigued to watch it. I could be, you know, I'm not. That's just not me. Now, if I just so happen to be like, fuck it,
yeah,
and I just to go out and I'll watch it. That's not gonna happen with me.
yeah.
Unless I go out with a date or something like that, and the girl be like,
Yeah, she's like,
okay, I might. That's not gonna happen. But my thing is, my thing is that I already know how this is going, how it actually go, because you know. Now, unless they make that's the only thing I would say to make the Clayface entertaining.
Yeah.
He gets in the accident, he transforms. And what they saying, he's not fully transforming into it. He's starting to become it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe unless they do it like this and it's a horror, I'm saying. Now, this was going to make it interesting, and I might go if I see a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody that he kills, he can partake to take the form of that person.
Right. Yes. Yes. It gives it more of that horror element.
Yeah. If
Like
it's something of that magnitude for him to become that particular villain, and then they twist it in some type of way, that's something different I could think of in that way. But Clayface, if you really know the character, Clayface is the fantasy part of the Rose Gallery.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I'll say this. Let me say this though to that. So is Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
So is
easy to do.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And those are still, again, these are all still characters that are still prominent characters, regardless of their. Now, granted, yeah, it's. We have yet to now see Matt Reeves dive in, or not, or not Matt Reeves. We have yet to see that since obviously the George Clooney.
Poison Ivy.
Yeah, the George Clooney.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Batman and Robin. There you go. We have yet to see that since then, but. All that to say, though, I think as a Batman fan, I think it is still interesting to see this because of that reason. It's like I remember watching Batman the animated series, and the episode of Clayface for sure was one of that I remember like, yo, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It does have somewhat of that horrorness to it. Like, yo, this guy's, you know what I'm saying? It was as a kid, I was like, oh, snap. But even as an older guy, like when I rewatched the Batman animated series, I was like, yo, this is actually kind of a cool storyline that they gave him. Like it's very, again, but that was Batman animated series, right? Like almost every episode hits, right? The stories they give these villains. So I feel if they can find the fine line of similar story, right, of what we got in the animated series, but then actually like getting that, very horror-esque element of, like you said, things that really make it feel like hairs come up, like things like that nature. I think they might be onto something here. But that's why I revert back to but if in any way, shape, or form I find out James Gunn is touching this, then yeah, you've lost me. You've lost me because I just don't have faith in him anymore to do these things, because he has his cup of tea. And it's kind of sad to say because, again, he did produce Brightburn, and Brightburn very much was like a horror-esque version of like a Superman kid, right? Like, this alien copy, and very much like, so like he should be able to do something horror-y like, but after that, after that, and I don't know if we want to throw Dawn of the Dead into that mix, into that bag. I'm not sure Dawn of the Dead was really a horror movie.
No.
I don't think it really is, but
no, it wasn't a horror movie. It wasn't.
Yeah, I don't think it is. It's a zombie. It's a zombie movie, but it's not horror. So other than that, like that's my whole point. Like, there's no. I don't think that's his bag. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that's his bag. Even though Brightburn was a project he worked on, and honestly, I enjoyed it. I'm just not sure I want him on Clayface right now. And again, that's just because I just lost faith, like with what he's done so far for DC cinematically, I guess you could say. But there is again, so that apart, there is a part of me that is curious enough to see what they're gonna do with Clayface, and I don't think we've seen enough yet for me to be completely like shunning it, I guess. But I do want to see more, right? Like, let me see the trailer, an actual trailer that shows me more to let me know whether or not this is it. You know what I mean? That's why I was wondering, like, what is it? Is there something specific that you feel you're not gravitating towards it?
That's pretty much it. Now, I could change my mind. But if the next trailer grabs me,
yeah,
then I might change my mind and be like, you know what, fuck it.
What if we find out that it's actually part of the Matt Reeves universe?
No, it ain't part of Matt Reeves. It ain't part of that.
Well, I'm just saying, what if? What if it did become part of the Reeves universe?
Matt Reeves stuff is his own entity. It ain't part of the DCU. Is his own entity.
Right? No, I know.
It ain't none of that.
And that's the part that I don't like, though, is that Clayface is part of the DCU. I would prefer that it's its own entity, and I would prefer that. I would even prefer it to be part of the Reeves universe, but in general, just separate. I really want Clayface to be separate.
All I'm saying to you is, you'll see where they're going with. Watch Creature Commandos, and then you're gonna see what I'm talking about.
Okay, I have to watch it. Now I have to watch
Commando.
Sure. I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna go watch it because you're not the first person to tell me that. That is it. So all right, I gotta watch it. I gotta give
you gotta watch the Creature Commando, because that's where all these characters that's coming into the future movies, they're from Creature Commandos. Senior General Rick Flag's father. He's gonna be in the new Superman film. Clayface. They're getting Clayface from Creature Commandos in the movie. Who's the other guy? Who's the other one that's in there that they're gonna put in the movie? Not Mr. Frost, that Dr. Frost. The bitch. I'm trying to think that damn woman name. She gonna probably be in Superman of Tomorrow too. That's what I'm saying.
Who?
Huh?
The one with the electricity powers?
No, not Mr. Frost. Not him. It's I can't tell you. You gotta watch Creature Commandos.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch
Creature Commandos.
I'm gonna watch it, and we'll reconvene on this because you look. I'll be honest. You're the one who pushed me to watch Penguin. And I was like, all right, I gotta watch Penguin, and I don't regret it. So you sent me on the right path to Penguin. I'm gonna take a shot with Creature Commandos.
No, watch Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos is tight, man, and the way that it's all set up. Because I'll just give you a little. I'll give you a snippet.
Yeah. The
first episode. Is right where Superman 2025 start off at.
Really?
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Okay. Now I have to watch it. Now I'm curious.
That's all I'm gonna tell you, and then you gotta go from there. So you got all the characters are tight. All of them are tight. Okay. All of them, and then the backstory. The backstories is tight. Then you're gonna find out. All I can tell you is that it's gonna be some stuff that happened to the Justice League, and you're gonna be like, "What?" Like I said, he has something in the future for the DCU. And it's all in Creature Commandos. But the way that he doing the DCU, it's like, how the fuck he gonna do that?
Okay.
That's what's gonna make you question. That's why I say, out of everything so far, Creature Commandos is the best thing so far, and it's animated, and people watched it, but a lot of people didn't watch it because it is on HBO Max. It's animation, and a lot of people really just want to look at live action. They're not gonna watch the animation all like that. Right. You know what I mean? And it didn't get no bad reviews. It said people are just gun haters. I don't hate James Gunn. I just don't. He's just not good for what he's doing. But when he did the Creature Commandos, nigga, that shit hard. Right. And you know me, I'm critical when it comes down to DC. That's shit.
For sure.
Yeah, hard. For sure. I'm telling you. But I got to get out of here, Vega, man. I got to get up in the morning.
All right, Brian. Appreciate you hopping on, man. Thank you.
No problem, boss. Peace.
All right, take care. All righty. Well, you have it here, fellas. You know what I'm saying? You heard it. Fellas, females, whoever's watching. you can. I felt like I needed to have that conversation with him because I know again he's heavy DC fan, and I know he kind of has his own he's one of the people I can talk to that allows there to be a variety of perspective, right? From my conversations with Sil, from my conversations with Carlos, from even with Penn and now Prime. But you see that there is a consistency here, and that's that Gunn is effing up. He's dropping the ball, and personally, why I will, regardless of how hard I know it is, really truly to accomplish this, but at the same time, I just feel there's things that make the possibilities a thing, right? And why I always say there's a possibility no matter what. And I'll share this and I'll leave it on this. I know I was going to discuss other things. But I'm actually going to go back live on Sunday. So just make sure you tune in then. I'm going to talk about the World Cup. We're going to get into, maybe I'll end it on that. I'll end on the World Cup. I was going to talk Cubs, Bulls, and stuff like that. I know I put that on the description. But I don't want to go too further into this session. We'll see how it goes. But either way, let me, since we're on the topic, regardless of Restore the Snyderverse, what I want to share is this. And this is why I'm like, it's just like, when you see the way that this guy's kind of constantly posting things and what he's involved with, he's very much involved in DC. Now, like Prime said, it could very much be that, like, and Stills even said this before too, there's just no doubt that Zach will direct another DC project again. That's a fact. The question is whether or not it'll be Restore the Snyderverse in the sense of like, sorry guys, allowing him to finish his story, right? We get the Justice League 2 and 3 to finish the story arc there, and then hopefully a plethora of movies with Henry Cavill as Superman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, or maybe one more or something. We can get one more of Aquaman. Maybe we can finally get a Cyborg movie, a Deathstroke movie, Batman movie, characters that Flash, a proper Flash movie, the Atom, whatever. We get Darkseid finally, all that. Maybe even Brainiac the right way. We're gonna get this. I don't know. I'm gonna just already go out and say like we're gonna get some, watered down version of Brainiac in Gunn's Man of Tomorrow. I can imagine that already, just because of what we've gotten already from Superman and Supergirl. Again, they missed the mark. They missed the mark. But anyways, let me just share this. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Here we go. We missed the mark, man. He's missed the mark, and that's just the problem. But I'll tell you who's not missing the mark here, and that's again Restore the Snyderverse, Zack Snyder himself. And like you always see me on here, and I'm always sharing what he's posting, and it's for a reason. My whole point, right? When Steppenwolf falls, hope rises. I don't know. Like, look, Zack Snyder is very cryptic, and it's like, though, yes, this is part of the storyline, right? Like Steppenwolf falls, hope rises. This is essentially how Zack Snyder's just, that's the third act, right? But like, why are you posting this right now? This was like 5 days ago. Keep in mind, Supergirl just came out. All this stuff about James Gunn came out. Who's Steppenwolf? You know what I mean? Who's falling? And what's the hope that's rising? You know what I'm saying? Like, even he's cryptic about these things. And I just can't help but feel like he's talking about what's happening in DC right now, right? And when that falls, hope is going to rise. And it's falling. It's fallen already, if anything, in my opinion. And I think the hope that rises, I feel like it's him saying it's him coming back to DC. But again, it very much could be like, it could be him directing another DC movie. It could actually be him actually taking the reins of DC. And I think would be a good thing, in my opinion, personally. I really don't care what anybody has to say about his story writing, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've heard it all, and yet here we are. Epic movies like 300, Watchmen, Man of Steel, BVS, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Rebel Moon, Army of the Dead. I'm sorry, I just don't know what you're talking about anymore when you're saying the guy doesn't know how to tell a story. I don't know I don't know what movies you're watching. I don't know what stories you're reading or what. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just, I don't get it, but here we are. Anyways, all that to say, this is what the man is posting. This is what we're seeing. And I don't think it's for nothing. I just don't think it's for nothing. I just feel like, and I know there'll be those that be like, oh, he's just doing that to like, drag you guys along and keep you guys as maybe. But what I also do know is he was only going this hard. The last time he went this hard is when we were getting the Snyder Cut. When it became closer and closer to that being solidified. That's when he was posting DC stuff this hard. I just can't help but feel it's the same thing. And he knows there's something he knows something we don't. And I think that's something he knows that we don't, is that there might be a plan for him to come back. So that being said, I think that's a thing. And look, here's the thing. I'll say this. Maybe he does come back and it's not about the whole Justice League. Maybe it's another Superman movie, right? Maybe it's just another Batman and Superman movie. Maybe it's them teaming up. And I'd be perfectly fine with that. It doesn't even have to be the whole entire Justice League. But I can kind of see why they would come back to work with him. I just, I can see that. And that's why I always say there is that possibility, man. That possibility is there. That does exist. I mean, like, yeah, like in the real world, though, we're talking money, contracts. Like when you're looking at just like the way Hollywood really functions, or any, for that matter, it's hard to see because it's like, man, there's contracts, the money that they're asking for. They're all big stars now. Ben Affleck was always a star, but they're all big stars now, like with the exception of Ray and Ezra. So like that's money, time. Are they doing their own projects, or what movies are they involved in? So those are real factors and real concerns too. Like, could that interfere with the, Snyderverse being restored? Those are proper questions and proper concerns that I think are legitimate, that are very highly probable, and probably more probable than the possible of what we hope to see happen. But hope rises, right? The way he says here. And I think that's the thing, right? Like, and this is why I even told, Prime is like, the reason I can never say never is because there was a point in time where never was the thing, and then it became a thing, right? Like that was the status quo. So there's things that we think can't happen, and eventually it actually does happen, right? We have to remember that there was also obstacles in front of the Snyder Cut to it not being able to come out, and it came out. So, obstacles do exist for sure, and those are things that can stop something from happening. But we definitely have to remember that I haven't seen it. Lauren Over Hathaway, if you've seen it, Okay, hold on. Oh, Dan, I'm gonna see it tomorrow. So now that's gonna be in the back of my head. Thanks, CDM331. Appreciate it. I appreciate that. Oh man. Okay. I can't wait to see the Odyssey. I really can't. Wait. I can't wait for tomorrow to come already. Tomorrow night at that. It's not even like it's right away. I have to wait all the way till the nighttime. But yeah, all that to say that this is the guy, right? And if you think, okay, he's just posting something with Superman, whoop-de-doo, okay, fair enough. Maybe, again, it's just him sharing his works, his projects. Here's the thing. He's still involving himself in the DC world. And I don't think it's him involving himself. I think it's him being asked to be involved. And by none other than Frank Miller. Right? And for those who don't know, it says it here. No, not here. Wait. Over here. Where? Is it here? No, it's not here. I'm going to show it to you guys now. But Frank Miller with 300 director Zack Snyder. Now, for those who don't know, Frank Miller is the author of the 300 comic. He's the author of The Dark Knight Returns, Batman, I think Year One, if I'm correct. Why am I even guessing? Whole point is this guy here, Frank Miller, like prominent figure in DC, asked Zack Snyder to be a part of this. I have to assume this is how it went down. Like, what I'm saying? It's not. I just can't see Zack Snyder inserting himself in this if it's not Frank Miller that asked him to be part of this, I imagine it's DC as a whole saying, "Hey, we're doing this. Can you be a part of this?" And you get what I'm saying? Like, Zack is very much still a part of that DC paradox, right? But where I guess for those who don't know who he is, let's go into here, and I'll share this with you guys so you guys can see. Let's see if I can. Bam! Here we go. Now I'm just jealous because none of these locations are anywhere near me. I'm not in New York. I'm not in Austin, Los Angeles, or London. So I'm salty as hell for sure. If there's a way to write to these people, I'd definitely. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put in the comment section of Zack. I'm like, yo, when you guys come to Chicago, what the hell? But okay, so he's the creator of The Dark Knight Returns, Batman Year One. Anthony Hundred joins us for a deep dive into his life and art, revealing the inspiration behind his iconic comics and his secrets of storytelling. So yeah, man. Again, we'll hear about his struggle. So Frank Miller transformed the way comics are told and reshaped popular culture in America and the world. We'll hear about his struggles as a fresh-faced 17-year-old kid in seedy 1970s New York and his success reimagining Daredevil. That's another thing he did, and Wolverine. And of course, his transformation of Batman from a childish has-been into the gritty Noirish hero we love. We'll head to Hollywood, hear about the Sin City comics. That's right, he also did those, and movies, and his legendary retelling of the Spartans' Last Stand in 300. We'll discover how he got his first breaks, how he poured his own life into his darkly realistic characters, how he fought against censorship, and how he introduced manga-style storytelling to U.S. readers decades before anime began tiptoeing into the mainstream. Throughout, Frank will share insights into his artistic process, offering lessons for aspiring writers, artists drawn from a lifetime at the summit of popular storytelling. Don't miss it. Again, man, like this is why I'm like, yo, Zack is very much still part of the DC world, and there's a reason for it. It's all I just can't help but feel that like there's a reason for it. So again, the highest probability is him coming back to direct DC, but there is for sure still a possibility it's for him to be able to come back and finish a story with the Justice League and those characters that I think we all can agree were the best of the best that we've seen from DC, and we're all still just wondering how that story ends, So hashtag Restore the Snyderverse is still a thing, It's still a thing, and it's still something I hope for, and I hope and wish for it to happen, and I won't stop. Again, even though I know the hurdles and the big asks and the things, the undertaking it would take to make such a thing. But I do believe there's also pieces of the puzzle that can make it happen. Like I said, Paramount coming in the time that it's coming in couldn't be a more perfect time. That Paramount bag is a bag, especially with the investors and the type of investors they have. There's an avenue there for there to be money for even if it is that the actors aren't willing to take pay cuts, that I think will make it possible. But I think if they are willing to take pay cuts, even more so. And I do think if there's anyone that's capable of filming 2 films back to back, because he's already done it with Rebel Moon, it's Zack Snyder. For those who don't know, he filmed part 1 and part 2 of Rebel Moon in the same time. So. Again, very much capable of doing so. So, can he shoot Justice League 2 and 3 at the same time? 100%. If there's anyone who could do it, it's Zack Snyder. So hashtag Restore the Snyderverse is still a hope and a fight worth fighting, and it's still in effect, guys. Let's see, what else can I touch on before we head out of here? Let's see. Well, I guess we could touch on this low key, just to touch on it before we head out. Let's do some Chicago sports. I'm going to do these briefly, but I know I'm not going to do them justice. We'll get really deep into it come Sunday, because I know again, there's a lot. I wanted to touch on a lot of these things, but due to time, and again, I have no issues with how it played out because always good conversation um, happening here. But obviously, Chicago sports guys, look, man, Sox and Cubs, man, are playing nice. They're playing ball, man. I'm not sure the Cubs won today though, so that's kind of like, they did, yeah, no, see, they lost to the Twins for sure, but the White Sox did win, and in epic fashion, 12-4 against the Blue Jays. Although I will say, the White Sox definitely have a harder road ahead of themselves. So let's see if they can keep this up. But they have a harder road ahead of themselves compared to the Cubs. If I'm correct, I think the Cubs technically already in, already where they need to. Wrong. Yep, no, I was in the wrong one. Yeah, the Cubs are technically, I would say, sitting primely where they need to be. And not where they need to be. You don't really want them to be in the wild card position. That's where they are at the very least, and they're shaping up, as clear buyers. So I think there's a future for them there. White Sox again, it's they have a tougher series ahead of themselves, of teams that they're going to be facing. So we'll see what happens. But I hope they do something. Again, my dream would be that they both, well, again, I haven't seen it. That's the whole point. I haven't seen it, so I don't know yet. I haven't seen it. So when I do, though, I'll for sure revisit this. I'll for sure revisit that statement. He said Odyssey cost $250+ million, but the film of the year is Blue Heron, cost $500 million less than Obsession. I'm not even sure I heard of that, so I'm gonna have to check that out. But hey, if that's what you think, that's what you think. But I haven't watched the Odyssey yet, but I can almost, just because Nolan hasn't failed me yet. So where I stand with that, we'll see. But anyways, like I was saying, with the Cubs, Sox, Cubs have I think a clear future for sure. Sitting in a prime National League wild card position. While White Sox have a road ahead of themselves, we'll see if they can see it out to the end. But they are sitting right now number one, if I'm correct, in the American League Central American League. Yeah, American League Central, whatever it is. Now that being said, let's move on to the Bulls. The Bulls, which is why I was actually wearing the hat. I gotta say, man, like Caleb Wilson, yeah, I just keep seeing clips of his summer games, of his how he's playing in the summer games, and I got to tell you, like, that boy is impressing me. And low key, not even just him. There was that other kid too. I'm trying to remember his name up right now because I'm like, yo, these guys are balling right now, and it sucks because they sound like they're winning. I'll be honest, not all these games that they're winning, but Jalen Sellers. That was the other guy. I'm just gonna let you guys see this one. This one's actually pretty good. This was actually pretty good. I came across this one. I'm like, yo, okay, that's dope. But it's between these two guys, man. But just look at this crossover. Damn. Diablo. Bye-bye. Broke his ankles, brother. Broke his ankles. Ay. That's just tough. Back playing ball. And there's a few things to show there, but I want to share is this if I can find it. Where's it at? Oh, I went too far down. It wasn't this one, was it? No, it ain't that one. No, it's not that one either. Is it this? Oh, this one actually is it. This is it. Just top 10 summer league plays by Caleb Wilson. And I mean, again, this kid's playing really well. So I'm just happy to see that because again, it just confirms everything we knew we were gonna get from him. Again, just from the three. Look at that. Look at that. It's just come on. Here we go. Quick action off the cuff 3. And there was that one game, I can't remember who they were playing against, but man, that guy was hot from 3. Again, another one. This is what we need. We need somebody who's got that kind of precision shooting, man. Here's another one. But also, yeah, even defensively, he's been playing nice. But check this out. Jesus, here we go. Wakata. Come on. Another one. Bam. Come on, man. Another one. Nope. Denied. Nope. Not happening. You thought. Here we go. Check this out. Otra vez. Can't be. It can be. Now they lost, but still. Come on, man. Kid's hungry. He's thirsty. Let's go. Poof. Come on. I'm telling you, he's looking really nice, man. Really nice. So, I don't know. I'm hyped. I'm excited for the Bulls right now. I think they're going to do some tremendous things going into the season. Again, I agree with Penn. I don't think they're going to go all the way to like chip. Maybe, that ain't it. But we're looking at a promising team that can keep building into something great. That's what I like seeing there. Opposite of, I don't know what the Celtics are doing, to be honest. Time will tell. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Bulls, man. And then same thing even with the Bears, man. Like, even the moves that they've been making there, they're clearly for sure trying to make it a team that's for sure around Caleb as the head QB. I think we're looking at a team. I think John's trying to build a team that's no longer the Cardiac Bears, but the Bears, the Bears. You know what I'm saying? Not the Cardiac Bears, but just the Bears, where we're putting points on the board, taking the lead, holding down on defense. This is the kind of team he's trying to put together, and I think that's the team we're going to see next season. Again, I don't want to get into the details. I'm trying to keep this going. That being said, I'll leave you guys with, let's talk about the World Cup a bit, because I know we're about to get into the final. We're ready we're about to get the finals. It's Spain and it's Argentina. I don't know who you guys got. Personally, in my opinion, I gotta go Argentina. I gotta go Argentina. Like, I don't put it like this. It's not because of Messi, or I would play. Not just because it's not all because of Messi. Because Messi is, one of the best, right? One of the best, hands down, right? There's no doubt about that. But it's that this is a team that I've actually liked since I was even a little kid. If my brother was here or my brother-in-law was here, who essentially it was him and his brothers that put us on to soccer, he could tell you every time we played. Matter of fact, it wasn't even. Well, now it's FIFA, but back then I believe it was a different kind of soccer. It was called something else. I think now it's FIFA, but back then the game was called something else. I could be wrong, but I feel like it wasn't even called FIFA back then. But Argentina was my team always. He would always choose anybody. He'd always choose Brazil. I'd always choose Argentina. I just liked Argentina, so they're like my team. I like them. But yes, of course, we got Lionel Messi, so I'm rooting for them. But now I say that it doesn't mean that I think it's going to be a walk in the park, or that Spain doesn't have it. No. I say that to say that that's what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for Argentina, but make no mistake, said this before, and I say it again, right? I said it back when Spain was playing against Portugal, and back even when they were playing against who they play against? Was it Norway? No. Yeah, I think it was Norway. I could be wrong. I don't know. But Spain is nothing to scoff at. They're there for a reason. You know, when you look at, they're the one team in the cup that's allowed, I think, the fewest amount of points against them, right? The percentage of possessions that they hold on the ball, like I want to say, is like 58%. It's these guys are playing. They're tactically sound. They're a tactically sound team. They know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my whole point. They're no one to scoff at. Okay. By no way, shape, or form. You know. So it's gonna be an interesting fight because match, because I know, you know, both teams essentially are built on controlling the ball through the midfield. That's a fact. The thing is Spain for sure is like, the way they do it is they use it to suffocate and defend with possession, right? Where for Argentina it's like chaotic vertical attacking, like, you know, that's it. So it's different strategies when it comes to that. But I mean, again, it's going to be a match. This is going to be a match to witness. The thing is, you know, again, I don't want to get too deep into it. There's just trying to scratch the surface, and then what I want to retouch on is also the last games, the games that brought us here, right? Argentina versus England, Spain versus France. Again, Spain versus France played out kind of exactly how you expected it to. Spain doing their thing, controlling the ball. Sorry. Controlling the ball. The possession structure was just, you know, it essentially blunted France's like transition threats that they do have. Because again, it's not that France is any soccer team too, but it's just tactically Spain's game just kind of made France's, again, their transition game, their threats, essentially just obsolete, you know. So that was that game. But really and truly, if we're gonna be honest, the game that was worth this is amazing, that had more of a story behind it. It was Argentina versus England, right? You know, it's just the way it happened, right? I mean, you're talking about England was in the lead. They switch up the game, thinking if we try and like defend now and then, you know, try and hold. So instead of attacking, we're gonna try and keep Argentina out from scoring since we're in the lead, and that just didn't play in the favor at the end of the day. Because one could make but it took so long. But the problem is the momentum was now going in Argentina's way, and Messi essentially, like, again, just orchestrated literally between the lines and gave each of his teammates the opportunity to score, because, you know, everybody was coming into Messi. You know, you're afraid of what he can, and again, no fault to England. Like, what are you going to do? You can't just leave Messi alone, right? It is what it is. But again, you change your strategy, and I think that kind of bit them in the ass. If they probably would have been more aggressively trying to still attack and get points on the board, instead of you know, essentially dropping deeper is what they did, and essentially just allow the pressure, you know, to come in from Argentina. So, but again, those last minute, you know, goals, you know, one in the 85th second, and then or minute, I'm sorry, and then the other one in the I don't know what they call, like, the extra minutes, right? The extra 2 minutes, right? And the 92-minute marker, essentially. Again, what a game is my whole point. What a game. And just to see even this, like, the shit talk at the end was kind of cool. But again, the World Cup, man, it's here. It's in the U.S. It's been a ride. It's been an experience, and I believe the finals is going to be back in MetLife over in New Jersey. I was, I shared this a couple weeks ago. I was just over there, and it was insane just to see how packed the city was, and it was a vibe for sure. So it's been a thing. It's been a thing, and it's kind of cool to just see it kind of take its place in our culture, so to speak. Not that, again, it's like, not that it wasn't existent. Again, soccer's been a ever growing sport in the U.S. It's not like it never was. Again, as a kid, I remember playing it a lot with, in school, we actually played it. It was part of the gym curriculum. So it's not like it's not a thing. Like, oh, soccer was never. No, it was. It's just, again, some sports are just popular and some aren't, right? We play rugby here, but you don't see us with a rugby team. You know what I'm saying? Like, we play, what's the other one? Lacrosse. You know what I'm saying? But there's no like professional, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's teams, right? There's leagues, but they're not on that level is my whole point. You know what I'm saying? So soccer has cities, you know what I'm saying? Like, now, we got Chicago Fire, the Miami, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, cities now have soccer teams, you know what I'm saying? Just like there's baseball teams and whatever. So, but again, so to have it was right. It just seems like the right time to have this here, though. This is the right time. And again, it's a cool experience, man. And you tell me, who do you guys got? You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for Argentina. But by no means am I saying that it's going to be a cakewalk or that it's for sure set in stone. Argentina's going to win. No, I'm just saying I'm rooting for them. Plus, I have friends that are Argentinian, so it would be a disservice to those friends of mine that are Argentinian. But again, like I said, I've kind of always liked Argentina as a team, even as a kid. So I'm just going to root for them. But again, may the one who fights for it more, I guess, take it. I guess we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But I'll end it here, guys. Again, we're about to go into the 3-hour mark. I will be going live again Sunday with Silos. That's the plan. That's what we discussed. And I should be going live also next Friday with a real dear friend of mine, who honestly I'm super proud of, has just accomplished something that's, only very few can say they've accomplished. And so I want to have her on and kind of discuss this part of her life and journey and kind of get into things. So, but anyways, that being said, for those who are watching, I appreciate you guys. Those in the comment section, appreciate you too. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. I should probably be saying this throughout the live, but here we are now. For you guys that are watching, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. Make sure you comment. Whatever you feel. If you feel anything different from what I said, if you agree, share it in the comment section. All right. But again, don't keep this to yourself, man. Don't keep this to yourself. Make sure you share it. Saying so again to get other people's views. Heck, if you do even like response videos to whatever I'm saying to do your own videos, share with me. I'll be more than glad to share you that, whatever, and we'll make this thing whole thing just go forward, whatever. But that being said, I appreciate you guys, those who are watching or not, and those who do watch this later on the replay. Much love. Appreciate you guys. That being said, fun, be safe. Make sure to catch the Odyssey out in theaters now. Make sure to go catch it. Even if you can't catch it on IMAX, just go watch it. I can almost guarantee it's a great film. Again, I don't know any Nolan film that hasn't hit, period. Even for those who have issues with Tenet, they're weird, and it was great. That being said, again, much love, guys. Appreciate y'all. Peace out.
New era niggas just scream out gang gang. My era niggas outside that gang bang. Old enough to know niggas that made it onto gangland. I don't say that to grandstand, I'm just spitting the facts, man. New rappers too busy just making sing-alongs. My raps will have it going savage like the Viacom. You don't want the smoke, homie, then your weed is strong. Good to see you smoke along to that Cheech and Chong. Me and my team, we on the front line. Steady putting in work, homie, it's always crunch time. Hard times produce me, dog. This ain't a movie, it ain't WWE when I mention the bloodline. Homie, I want mine, that's why I move different. Y'all too laxy daisy, I keep myself disciplined. Repetition on repetition, training is rigorous. Only way to survive the streets that's dangerous and vigorous. Behavior villainous, leave no traces of witnesses. Moment of silence for the taking of all our innocence. Now back to business, somewhat of a practitioner, cause there's no shortcuts in life, no pills that make you limitless. That's ridiculous, far set from reality, like juice that's licorice. Frame of thought is insanity, causing calamity if you actually watching and listening. Hope you catching else from the dudes that started visiting. How you missing it? Losing profits and dividends. The way your boys been cooking, they need to give me a Michelin. The bliss is ignorance, say they don't like to mention them. They say we don't mention the bodies that's in Lake Michigan. Fucking hypocrites, I separate from the fakes. Run with a pride of lines, identify all the stakes. Hubris as they folly and catch on other mistakes. Matter of time before they're just another body that's in the lake. Navigate, these troubled waters won't choose my fate. My vision is too ambition like Alexander the Great. Say there's much on my plate, but I carry my weight. Figuratively and literally, for all those who can relate. I never break, you never get me to fold. You never get me to leave, Chicago is still my home. But I carry my heat, this windy city is cold. Valentine's Day massacre, but was it really Capone? Face blown out of proportion, the different views of contortion. Use best proceed with precaution before you lie dead in a coffin. It's not a threat, that's a promise. Best quit talking your nonsense, your body could end up missing. Got your family claiming we lost them. Can't find them, bad time and he's flatlining. Good riddance, bit of negative to mankind. And I'm like Jack Reacher, the equalizer, John Wick, Jason Bourne, the accountant. Either one, you can take your pick. The damage I could do with my side weapon. John Wick with my P40 Smith & Wesson. Opposition lightweight, so I'm not threatened. I'm just glad about the hate that they keep sending. It's really easy talk that rah-rah on the internet. There's words to Zaza, I heard y'all ain't got your fingers wet. Don't get your cherry pop by the very op. We bust the real ones, got the heavy guap, you just carry prop. Bunch of these gangsters claim to be hard to the core, but they really not like women that claim to be faithful. But they really thought, act like they down, but when shit goes down, they call the city cops. Same fools think they know a lot, no dilly squad. Tired of all of this fake shit, with fake asses and fake tits. They fake smiles, but fake lips. Picasso looking with their facelift. What I call the good replacement, with the so-called real are the fakest. So the fakest niggas are the greatest. What was common sense no longer makes sense. What was common sense is now rare sense. What was funny then is now flagrant. Living in your thoughts, I don't pay rent. I take my time, you lack patience. Then your blood drip on the pavement. With a headshot, got you brainless. After getting hit with that stainless, kill an instinct, call me Craven.